Goddamn.
Oh, man. Ahem. How is everybody doing here today for your Friday edition, your 277th edition of the news? Thank you guys, as always, for joining us here today on Summerslam Eve. And, yeah, how's everybody doing? Thank you guys for being with us, man. Thank you guys for joining us here today for another edition of the news. If this is your first time watching, you guys do not know how the show works. Every Tuesday at 12 p.m. Central, we are on here with the news, and every Friday at 3 p.m. Central, we are on here. Tuesday at 12, I don't know what I said, but Tuesday at 12, we're live with Unscripted. I think I said we're live with news. We are not live with the news. We're live with Unscripted on Tuesdays at 12. At 3 o'clock on Friday, we are on here with the news. And for the pay-per-views for both WWE and AEW, we are live directly afterwards with the post-show review. So with that being said, you guys got us for 2 more nights. You guys got us tomorrow night and the night after that for the SummerSlam post-show. And, yeah, so if you guys did miss this past Monday's edition of Unscripted, you guys can now watch that on all platforms. That is Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and if you want to see it first, join us right here live every single Tuesday at 12 p.m. Central for Unscripted, man. If you guys have not got a chance to get your hands on some of the official NHP merchandise, you guys can now find this live on the merch shop. That is bonfire.com. Link is at the top of the description of this very video, man, where you can find this beautiful piece of Notorious merchandise live there as we speak. And with that being said, if this is your first time watching, guys, do not know who we are here at Notorious Heels. I am Johnny, one half of the host of this very show. And as for the other half, we got my man, Sir K. Boy, does he have something to tell you guys, man, because Sir K is going to tell us, finally, what he's been smiling about all this time. Sir K, the floor is yours.
Well, had a good day, man. I woke up, looked at Twitter, and, my whole Twitter timeline, it's just straight Spider-Man talk. They revealed, a teaser of the suit for the next movie, and shit looks fire, man. From everything I'm seeing about this movie, this shit about to be legendary, and I'm fucking excited, man. Tonight, we go see Fantastic Four,
Yes.
and, we're getting all these teasers for Spider-Man. I'm excited, man. I'm really excited. I've been doing good, man. I've been doing good. SummerSlam weekend is finally upon us. So I'm excited for that. Excited for both nights, preferably Sunday in terms of, the show itself, man. I'm excited for both days, Saturday, Sunday. Excited for both. But very interested to see how this weekend goes with SummerSlam, man. We're finally here, and I'm excited, man. I'm excited. Like Durante always asks, how's life? How's the family? Life's good. Family's good. How is everybody doing in the live chat? Logan, Bill, anybody that's going to join in, and anybody watching the replay. How you guys doing, man? What about you, man? How you doing?
I am doing pretty good, man. Doing pretty good. Like you said, we're going to catch Fantastic Four tonight, so I'm excited to see how that goes. Maybe later tonight we also will get our hands on a little bit of some WWE Unreal. I'm interested to see what all the chatter is about. We actually have some news on kind of why the show is here and the reaction to it backstage, but I'm excited to, again, see what all the chatter is about. You said you've been dealing with, Fantastic Four spoilers all week. I've been scrolling past so many posts because so many people just... They just, man, I mean, they just have been, I mean, props to them. I'm sure they're making whatever little bit of money they're making off of Twitter or TikTok or whatever the case, or Instagram reels. But damn, I mean, people have been some repost demons. I mean, it is, look, I get trying to get your clips out there, and I get it. I get trying to, engage people and stuff. I get that's a part of the game, but damn. My For You pages have been ruthless with WWE Unreal. I mean, I cannot, it is unreal how many fucking posts that I've been seeing this week, because I'll scroll, I'll see CM Punk hugging Triple H and Gorilla. God damn it, I gotta scroll again. Oh, now Triple H is hugging Tiffany Stratton. Oh, God, here's the writer's room now. Oh, God, like, dude, yo, chill, like, chill out, bruh. You, like, they have been demons with the reposts, bro. But getting my hands on a little bit of that, or might be getting our hands on a little bit of that tonight. We'll see where the night takes us. But so I'm excited to see what all the chatter is about for WWE Unreal. I hope it's good. But yeah, it is we have finally got ourselves season 2 of Twisted Metal. So I'm very excited to watch that. Obviously, I probably didn't shut up about it about season 1 2 years ago. That was fucking awesome. But yeah, I'm super excited for that. Super excited for Fantastic Four, and then what else? Oh, I just seen the Spider-Man teasers that you sent me. Been a pretty busy day so far. So I'm excited for that. The suit looks dope. I'm so excited for Spider-Man 4 or Brand New Day, whatever it's going to be called, next year. Very, very, very excited for that. Uh hmm and SummerSlam. So, SummerSlam.
Yeah,
Yeah,
last on
it's
the list.
SummerSlam is here. But yeah, like I said, we will probably be catching a little bit of Unreal tonight, just to see what it's about. See what just to give you guys my take on it tomorrow during the SummerSlam review, depending on how much we get to watch. But actually, we are on the tomorrow's technically, by the date, the 1 year anniversary, but this SummerSlam Eve, the very end of July, early August, crazy that we're in August, is the 1 year anniversary of the rebrand of NHP. So the rebrand, obviously, you guys remember the old OG logo, the double face logo. And now we got this bad boy you see above our heads. So crazy that it's been a year. I remember being so nervous. I remember it being a very, very big day. I remember it being
Very
a
big
very
day.
big day. I remember being very nervous about it, and I remember everything going pretty well. I remember everything going pretty
Great.
well, minus my little botch. But I have
Oh, you'll never forget about it.
I have no, it's not something that infuriates me like it did the
It's
day
good.
of. You
You mean that first weekend?
sometimes you gotta learn to laugh. I was very upset though. Yeah, it was like a solid week, but you know, we'll just say it.
It was a fucking straight week of just, dude, I fucking fucked it up. Like, no, you didn't, bro.
I fucked it up, dude.
But
Typical
he did
Johnny
not.
fashion. But
He did not.
um
But it was great.
crazy, bro, crazy, bro. So yeah, I really can't give enough thanks to my guy over at Stickers 13 Studios for the logos. Got to give a huge shout out to Envoi. They've been the voice of us they're the first voice you hear for both shows, Unscripted
Yeah.
um and you know, the news. So huge shout out to Envoi again. Great. I've listened to them for many, many years, probably since 2018. So damn near almost 10 years. Was that 7 years? Listened to them for a long time, man. And it's an honor to have them in again as the voice of the opening intro for what we do. And then again, my guy over at Stickers 13. We've worked with him a lot. We are continuing to work with him. He's a great guy. And bro, can't thank you enough for the logos. And yeah, you honestly killed it, bro. Made us a interchangeable logo, and a beautiful logo at that. I love doing the interchangeable logo every for every pay-per-view and stuff. It's one of my favorite things to do, man. So shout out. And it's been an awesome year. It's been an awesome year ever since the rebrand. We've grown a lot. And it's really, really crazy. It's really, really crazy how much we have we've grown as creators and as people, man. So
Like,
rebranded
truly,
us
man.
well.
It really did. It suited us very well. Love the rebrand. Love everything visually, sound that it did for us for every show logo. I love it. It's always get to be so creative with they're doing a show in Texas. We could do this. They're doing a show here. We could do this. It truly is amazing, dude.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, man. But yeah, let's see. I think that is other piece of news. AEW, Tony Khan, you son of a bitch.
They did it again.
I humbly bring to you on Sunday, August 24th, the Notorious Heels Forbidden Door post-show review.
That fucker, dude. That fucker, man.
Um,
Yeah, it fails.
I,
It's
I,
literally just negative review.
I genuinely thought, which I cannot complain about. I will say I'm
Oh
happier.
yeah,
I'm happier, but I was hey, I was ready to take that show off. I was just because I just genuinely cannot stand Forbidden Door. I can't stand AEW versus New Japan or AEW
it's so
teaming with
bad.
New Japan or whatever. It's fucking horrible. They don't really have again, they other outside of Gabe Kidd and a retiring Tanahashi, they got nothing. Okay, so
Literally.
they have absolutely nothing, unless you're showing me like Matt Riddle. Then which I don't even think he worked with. I think he signed with MLW. So it's I know he was over there for a little bit, but it's cooked. Okay, I mean they also have Zack Sabre Jr. too. I can't leave him out, but
Yeah,
dude, the show was rather fucking horrible. However, this year, I will say, I was completely ready to just not do Forbidden Door because again, I last year, bro, MJF versus Hechicero was on the fucking card last year. I was done. I was done. Again, like Logan says, the first couple years, I think the first 2 years, fucking awesome. First 2 years were awesome. We
super.
were at the first one. That was the best one. And then the second one came around, and that one was great as well. And then even the third one, the one with Osprey and Kenny, that was great as well. And then last year happened, and I threw the towel in. That was absolutely one of the worst, most horrible pieces of garbage I ever watched in my life. Outside of Stephanie and Mercedes, it was horrible. However, what they did this year was just give us an AEW pay-per-view. And I appreciate
Yeah.
Tony Khan for doing that because either way, it's pretty much AEW versus New Japan. I mean, he stole everybody from New Japan. They got Osprey, they got Okada, they got Omega. They literally have everybody that was a New Japan great. They got
Yeah.
the Bucks. Okay, they got
They literally, they
uh
literally have Swerve versus Okada on that show. That's basically AEW versus New Japan.
essentially. So we will be doing Forbidden Door this year. So there you guys go. It's gonna be a great show though. The card actually looks really fire. Tony Storm versus Athena. Um, Swerve and Okada. I'm sure we're gonna obviously get something with Hangman and Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega and whatnot. So I'm excited for that. I wouldn't be shocked, and I also wouldn't be upset if we do end up getting Hangman versus Tanahashi because this is his last year. So I could see them wanting to give him that match, but I'm just glad they're kind of deading the AEW versus New Japan dream matches. I mean, none of those matches, absolutely none of those matches outside of maybe something with Gabe Kidd is an actual fucking dream match at this point. So, again,
Exactly.
even guys like even guys like a Zack Sabre, he's basically faced all the people I was really interested
It's
in seeing him
everybody.
face. So,
Yeah.
so we will be doing Forbidden Door this year. Like I said, it's pretty much just a glorified AEW show, which I can appreciate because, yeah, I mean, again, we had no intentions on doing the show had it have been AEW versus New Japan the whole way through. So, I'm actually messing with it. I like it, and we'll be here for Forbidden Door this year. So there you go.
Hell yeah. Excited.
So, as Durante always asks, I am good. Family's good. What about you, Durante, Logan, Bell, Hunter, and my guys, a part of the Replay Mafia, JT and JB. Thank you guys as always for joining us here today for the news. Let's see what you guys are talking about. Logan says he doesn't really care for the show. I'm interested to see. Again, we talked a little bit about it on Monday. I think certain things are peeling back a little too much, but we'll see. We'll see
We'll see how it goes.
Oh God, Belle's still calling soccer football. Get a load of this.
God damn it.
She says she
This is
just needs to
America.
hear something other than soccer news.
Well, I don't know if you'd even want to hear wrestling news at this point. I'm glad you got us, but
But
half the time,
dude, Meltzer was just telling us a good story about some wrestling news, bro. Because did
He
you
was
hear the
telling us.
story about the night before and that whole thing?
I did hear about that,
Yeah.
the night before and that whole thing.
Yeah. Did you guys hear that story? Bro, this clip's been going around Twitter. And it's legitimately, it's Meltzer talking to Alvarez, and he literally says to him, so do you remember that whole story about, the night before and that whole thing? And fucking Alvarez just goes, fucking Alvarez just goes, no, I don't know that whole story. That shit has been killing me all week, bro. Huh?
This shit was hilarious. Whoa, the Wonder Years. Holy shit, hold on.
Becky Lynch is getting a new
Ooh.
theme music.
Oh shit.
That better be good. Interesting.
Wonder.
That is interesting. Listen, Belle. It's called soccer, okay? This is a soccer country. This is a soccer world, okay? So
Pennsylvania.
So, I can't even remember what the hell we were talking about, other than me giving Belle a hard time. But, Belle says Unreal was good for what it was. It was just what I expected, really. Okay. I figure it's going to be a lot of glazing and a lot of backstage. Well, we actually have news on that. And actually, I mean, we can start off with that. Belle says she's not watching Forbidden Door because she got burnt out a few months ago from all the stuff, and she needs from all the stuff I keep up with. I need limits.
I mean, that's very understandable.
That is very understandable. And yes, they are in the off season, which probably makes what I'm about to say even worse. I've been leaning on the NBA heavily. Okay, I've been, and again, they are in the off season, so they, so that, I mean, that really says a lot. That really says a lot because, I have just been, I have been leaning on the NBA heavily. I've been keeping up. I'm very interested in this whole like Luka Doncic, what is like his fitness journey, and like people are starting to think Dallas created a monster, which I really hope is the case because Luka's, aside from Steph, is probably my favorite player in the league. So I'm like really excited to see how he comes out next year. Really excited. He looks great. He's really skinny and he looks really fit. He's also had some pretty fire shoe drops, but that's a different story for a different day. But I've been excited about that whole thing and all the free agent moves and whatnot. The off season, with KD being traded to the Rockets and shit. I've been leaning on that ridiculously. So I definitely get it. It's been burnout from wrestling. I could definitely see why you would get there, because I was maybe almost there. If I didn't have basketball to lean on, I definitely would have been there 100%.
Oh yeah, if we didn't have all these movies coming out, man. We had Sinners, Superman, Fantastic Four. I think the last Conjuring comes out like in next week or 2 weeks or something.
It does.
If it wasn't for that, then man, I holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah. So, so yeah, but speaking of, actually getting on to the wrestling news now, we're going to start you guys off with news about Cody Rhodes. we're going to start you guys off with AEW today, because we're going to end you guys with WWE, and then we're going to end you guys off with, we're going to start with AEW, go to WWE, and then end with the SummerSlam predictions. So, yes, wrestling burnout is very easy when they do wrestling, wrestling,
Every
yeah, dude, it's like, because we got SummerSlam in 3 weeks, we got Forbidden Door, the very next weekend after that is Clash in Paris. 2 weeks after that is All Out. And then probably like 2 weeks after that is WWE's October pay-per-view. Was that Crown Jewel? And then probably a week after that is Wrestle Dream. so
fuck,
and
man.
then and then we probably got about another
Mhm.
month break until Full Gear, and then immediately after Full Gear is Survivor Series, and then right after that we're jumping into John Cena and all the retirement shit. So,
Yeah, World's End.
oh my God, yeah. Well, we have news on that too. So yeah, probably the John Cena retirement stuff, which will probably be on that same weekend if we're lucky, so we could just get it all out of the way in one weekend. And then, yeah,
Won't
and
be.
then
I don't think WWE will wanna do something 2 days after Christmas. I could see the weekend before Christmas, if I'm being honest.
yeah, or I could see them doing middle of December.
Yeah, even like the 13th or the 20th. I don't yeah, I
It
don't think they'll run the same weekend.
it all depends on how much they want to, wring the towel out from John Cena. You know what I mean? If they really want
Exactly.
to, if I were them, I would. I mean, he said the end of 2025. I'm to be honest, bro. If I were them, I would probably do it the last weekend of 2025, just to give
Mhm.
us go to as many towns as you possibly can. I wouldn't really retire them in the middle of December. I could see them doing that though. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah. So yeah, it's a lot. It is a lot. But as I like to say, I do not run from the grind. The grind indeed runs
No.
for me. So, so regardless, AEW, Cody Rhodes, more specifically.
Oh god.
This is interesting because Cody
Er
Rhodes, via The Ringer with Bill Simmons, spoke about his AEW departure, which is an odd enough statement because, as many of us know, Cody Rhodes has never been one to really speak on his AEW departure. It's usually all love and respect. All he does is wish them well. He actually admitted for the first time, or at least maybe not the first time, he might have thrown subtle hints here and there, but this is really the first time it's been very blunt. He actually admitted to there being problems in AEW. He shed a little bit of insight. He didn't really go too far into it, but he had this to say. He says, when asked about his AEW departure, he said there is clearly bad blood, but there's also clearly respect and love. In the end, the way I see it, if I felt disrespected at WWE, that's one thing. They're the Yankees. That's the flagship of it all. If I felt ever at WWE that I was a number on a sheet, maybe. But feeling disrespected at something I built with my friends, feeling disrespected there, I would not stand for it. It was one of those things where it was fuck it. I did way more than you think, and you're going to find out the moment I'm out the door. God, we're not even done. He says, I don't believe in the cold-hearted, backstabbing type of revenge. The greatest revenge on earth is success. I feel like we were sitting on something wonderful, something great, a huge, potentially, what I was doing with the American Nightmare as a good guy, as a bad guy, something in between. We're sitting on some magic. If I'm not going to do it in the house that I literally, with Matt, Nick, and Kenny built, then, buddy, I'm going elsewhere. Ooh.
It's crazy.
Ooh.
Oof.
Yikes. Feeling disrespected. There's been a lot of rumors going around. There was a rumor going around, and really take this with, I don't want to even say a grain of salt, take this with the tiniest pinch of salt that you could possibly take. I seen a rumor. There was an account on social media that said that there was some type of thing that happened, and again, I really do not quote me on it, but I heard there was a thing about, you know, Cody, went to Tony and asked him, why Punk was being paid so much more than him. And Tony's rebuttal to all of that was to pull up stats and show him stats on how his segments do versus how Punk's segments do. Which, if that is the case, I could absolutely see why he felt disrespected. But in general, if you don't even take that story into account, you could see how, Cody may have been the OG scapegoat, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, he was blamed for a lot in AEW. He was blamed, in the beginning. People they tried to call him selfish, and Cody had all these different weird type of rebuttals to try to, save his image that wasn't even messed up. Is like people were just coming at him just to come at him. So obviously he did the whole world title thing. That severely limited his booking, so he kind of just became a rather random and insufferable character in AEW because he was just running around doing a bunch of random shit, in my opinion. But regardless, he was blamed for a lot. He was blamed for a lot, man, and it's just it's very funny to me, the line about where was it? He says, fuck it, I did way more here than you think, and you're going to find out the moment I'm out the door. Obviously, from context clues, you can obviously make out what he's trying to say is they didn't really think he was that valuable, which you can kind of see again, because as Tony started bringing in CM Punks and he started bringing in Malachi Black and Andrade. It was the summer of signees, right? Adam Cole, Bryan Danielson, all these people were jumping over to AEW. They were getting a haul of talent. And you just started to see his care for Cody Rhodes dwindle less and less. And with what we know about Tony Khan now, if I'm going to use my own context clues again, I think Tony Khan didn't really. I mean, I'm sure he liked Cody as a person. I'm not going to say he didn't like him as a person. I think professionally, he stepped on Tony's toes a bit too much. I think Cody wanted to be more involved than Tony was ever willing to give anybody, right? I think he kind of used them as a vehicle in the beginning to kind of get them to kind of get the airplane off the runway, and then he wanted to take over when the easy part came, once the company got past that initial first period, that initial first push of just it being fresh and everybody loving it. He wanted he wanted them to kind of wanted them to do the hard part, right? He wanted them to get the company off the ground, and once people took AEW seriously, then he wanted to jump in the driver's seat and turn airplane mode on, and then also turn on cruise control and kind of just do his own thing. And when Cody left, what happened to morale in AEW, man? It went down a lot. It went down a lot. I mean, it was very tarnishing to their backstage environment. It was very bad, and I think and especially with the amount of, I guess, professionalism that we or that Cody carries himself with, I do think he kept a lot of the backstage stuff professional in a sense. So yeah, man, I mean, this is again, like I said, taking all the other rumors out of the equation, from my context clues and what I'm reading, that's kind of how I took it.
Most definitely. Like you said, the context clues, what I took from it too, is very similar. It's for me just points straight at Tony Khan and their relationship, their treatment of each other, and then Cody's influence backstage that I don't think Tony Khan really understood, respected, or understood the scale of. Um, I think, Cody did a lot of, management backstage in terms of managing, how people interacted with each other backstage, how people showed respect to each other. Cody was the one that was really like storyline heavy. He was the one that wanted to bring in like celebrities and make a big image for AEW. He was doing a lot of like the company image heavy lifting. I don't think Tony Khan really like understood and respected that. And then, Cody went on and, he's basically the literal doing all that for WWE, and it's obvious that's what he wanted to do for AEW. Tony Khan didn't really, from what I get, he didn't really respect him. And obviously it comes from that disrespect line. And I really think it points at Tony Khan most of all, because even just the way he's talking there, he's talking about the elite. He's, saying his friends. He started with his friends. He's never, talk shit about them. Obviously, they'll jokingly throw jabs at each other because, that's just the way like the Bucks and Cody work. But it's obvious they all left on good terms overall. To me, it really does point at Tony Khan, like it does for you, and I think it's a lot of Tony Khan not understanding and respecting Cody's, influence and work backstage, and that's obviously where the disrespect come from. And you get people like Punk coming in at the time. Punk really took that gas pedal for himself, and really was, for a while, kind of, GM Punk, and he was kind of doing it. And Tony Khan
He had
basically
a
just
company to
let
run.
see he had a company to run. His quote exactly. And if you look, Tony Khan just let CM Punk take the wheel and go crazy with it. And it obviously he didn't let Cody do that when Cody probably had the better direction he could have took it, and he didn't really respect that. I think Cody realized that, and people mention Brandy a lot. I think she's also a factor. There's all the beef rumors of Britt Baker backstage, and the way they just treated Brandy backstage and didn't respect her. I think it's a lot of factors like that that led to it. So it's a really unfortunate story, man. I very easily, a lot of things in AEW very well could have worked out if Tony Khan would have just managed, being a boss better and understanding his talent better and understanding, how dynamics work in a backstage setting better. I think, Punk, I think Cody, I think all of those acts could have worked out overall in the company if he would have played his cards better. And I think, you know, most every big failure from AEW, at the end of the day, is Tony Khan's fault. And I think
Yep.
Cody leaving is one of the biggest ones.
Yeah, not to mention, and you talk a little bit about how they just had different outlooks for the company, and Jack in the comments says Cody gave this comparison one time, and I remember when he said this. He said he wanted classic NWA and Tony Khan and the Bucks, and I think he even threw Kenny in there. Wanted a PWG style. They wanted a super indie. Meanwhile,
Yeah,
again, Cody wanted more of a classic. But yet again, like you
wrestling.
said, he cared a lot about like the sports entertainment side of it, like
Yeah,
bringing in celebrities and just
yeah,
like marketing AEW better and putting AEW on more of a public scale when again when and again, just taking from my context clues here, bro. How does every story we hear, how much does Tony Khan? I mean, do you remember the way Tommaso Ciampa used to hold the NXT championship? How he used to hug it to his chest and hold on to it tightly? That is what Tony Khan does with his creative control. I mean, he does not. He does not let anybody get near. Again, we just heard the story less than a year ago about he didn't want the Death Riders to be a rogue takeover AEW faction because he didn't want anybody to think that it was anybody other than him booking the show. He didn't want to bring Shane McMahon in to be a GM because he didn't even want to give the image. He didn't even want it to be a thought in people's mind that these people, that somebody else books the show other than him. And a lot of people thought that with Cody. A lot of people thought, oh, Cody books the show. I think professionally, he stepped on Tony's toes way too much than Tony wanted. And then um and then like you said, man, the stuff with Brandy, I forgot to even mention that. But again, we always hear the rumors about, Brandy, was not treated well backstage, and people did not like her. People thought she was a nuisance, people thought she was annoying, people thought she was a controversial individual or whatever. All the stories we used to hear. um Obviously, the best way to attack a good man is to go after, is to, is to go after his wife or his children, right? That's obviously like the one button you don't push. You know what I mean? And people probably push that button a lot. For him, so yeah, I just think, I think that I think it was too much for Tony to handle, and I really think over time he maybe started just getting disrespectful with Cody, because he did not like that Cody Rhodes thought that, maybe the company was his, or at least that's what Tony thought, is, that this guy probably thinks this company's his, it's my fucking company. And he got upset
And like
about that. So
going back to Cody's words, he was in that whole interview talking about he didn't bring up Tony Khan once. He said him and his friends started this
mm,
company because I think when the
yep,
company started, it was them,
it
and
was
Tony Khan was just the benefactor. He was just, the guy paying for it and the guy,
the
financially
funder.
backing the company.
Yeah.
Exactly. He was just a funder at the beginning, and then he stepped in creative. And that's really when things went downhill overall, man. And I think, it's Tony Khan. We always say it. I always say it. Tony Khan is AEW's number one problem.
No, 100%. He will always keep that. The company will never break the glass ceiling as long as he's there, and we all know he ain't ever leaving there. So, um, I was gonna quote you on that. Let's see. He says, he says, if I ever felt at WWE that I was a number on a sheet, maybe, but feeling disrespected at something I built with my friends. He also goes on to say, if I'm not going to do it in the house that I literally, with Matt, Nick, and Kenny built, then buddy, I'm going elsewhere. So yeah, I
Yep.
mean that's definitely that's definitely the feeling among. I mean, we even heard that. Do you remember that story we read again? Another story that was less than a year ago, where Private Party wanted to work with the Young Bucks, and the Young Bucks literally told Private Party, we don't really have control of the tag team division anymore. Tony tells us what to do now. He tells us what we're doing. That tag division was once the Bucks. And that
Yeah.
was also the period in time when AEW tag teams were destination,
Totally.
that was the destination signing for a tag team. It was AEW.
It- And Logan mentions in the comments a lot, Tony Khan at the start of AEW had nothing to do with the interest of AEW. It was the Elite, it was Bucks, it was Jericho that came
Yes.
in and started, and that's why everyone watched because all
Moxley.
those guys were involved, and they're bringing these Moxley, they were bringing these young guys in like MJF, Darby, all those guys that people were like, oh, who's this? I mean, I trust the Elite, I trust Jericho, I trust Mox. Who are these other guys? That's why people started watching AEW. Tony
Mhm.
Khan was literally just a face in the background. He even what Tony Khan would say it at the time, oh, I don't want to be too involved in this and that. And then I guess his ego took care and took the reins, and it fucking it evolved into this, man. And I think that's the biggest killer is, and you could just tell from the rest of the elite's attitude when they talk about AEW, the Bucks, Kenny, whenever they talk about AEW, they talk about it like they're disinterested in the backstage goings on with the company because they don't have any control in it. They don't have any real input in it. It's just Tony Khan running the whole show, and it's very obvious, man. It's very obvious. He took their thing and he's running with it.
Yes. Going back many, 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 many years to the Cody exit, what the press release he put out,
Mhm.
when he was leaving AEW. I still remember one of the
Yep.
lines from there to this day. To this day, I still remember it verbatim, bro. Um, Tony Khan has taken the baton and ran with it. He took their
Oh,
thing
yeah.
and he ran away with it. That that
Oh, he did. He 100% did, and that's what Tony Khan himself says. He always GM, booker, head booker, CEO of Korea. It's like he's
Yep.
wants to be the one in charge. He wants to be, a McMahon level name in wrestling. And if he would have just sat in the back and paid for, everything, people would have thought of him like that anyway. So it's just one of those things where someone's ego took ahead of themselves. And Jack mentioned in the comments it was Kenny and Cody, that made All In happen, and All In
Yep.
happened, and that created AEW. It literally started from a tweet at Meltzer. Could the Elite hold a show and have a stadium show? And
Of
he
course,
said
Dave
no,
said
and
no. Of
Brody
course he
said
did.
no. He just said no, that can't happen. They would never sell out an arena. Sold out an arena, and AEW was created, man. And he mentions all this stuff nowadays is why he says the Bucks have become lazy. Even look at Kenny's attitude. He doesn't care about AEW anymore.
No.
Can you blame him?
Those
What is
boys
there
want
to
to be
care
in
about?
WWE, bro.
They want to be with their homie, bro. They want to. Why do you think? And you could look at like Hangman too. Why do you think he actually does, seem to enjoy AEW? Because he doesn't have creative input. He never has. So he doesn't have, that spite that like Tony Khan gave to him that he gave the rest of the elite. I feel like the rest of the elite feel spited, and Hangman doesn't have to feel like that because he was never a creatively in charge person. And you could tell with all the creatively in charge people, Jericho, the Bucks, Cody, Kenny, all those people are obviously mentally checked out of the company.
Yeah, because it's a shell of how the morale and the lure,
Mm.
the thing that was luring people to AEW was the atmosphere. It was a
You know,
place where you
exactly.
could come and work and there's no stress and you don't got to deal with this fucking old fuck booking you into a fucking hole every week. You know what I mean? You don't you don't have to you don't have to deal with that there. And now that's gone. And that's another reason why I say um oh yeah, yes. Kenny, yeah. Oh, for
Oh,
I guess
yeah.
I guess I
Kenny.
I guess what I mean was the Bucks wanted to. So I take that back. The Bucks want to be in WWE. We all know where Kenny wants to be.
Go to fucking
We
Japan and shit and just
E-
live there.
Kenny Omega literally started a fucking company, the number two wrestling promotion in the world, yet still says New Japan is his home. Does that tell you anything? And does that tell you anything about how he feels about, AEW? But anyways, yeah, so Jack talks about the Bucks have become, lazy. Um that is the one reason why that is one of the things I always talk about, and I always talk about it because I can't blame them for that. I really can't blame them for that,
No.
man. That has to be one of the most demoralizing things you could possibly feel, starting a company that was your vision and having it ripped out of your hand, and you don't have any fun there anymore. Again, that's got to be an all-timer, like, horrible feeling, man. So yeah, I definitely get what you're saying, and that's really one thing I can't blame them for.
Oh yeah, have you ever like seen those YouTube channels that like get bought by a company and like all the original
Yes,
people
like
always
Smosh.
leave because exactly. Anytime you have a thing and it's people creating the thing, and then, the rich guy comes along, buys it, or, puts money into it, takes power, all those original guys that creatively started it always end up leaving because it's not the same thing. Imagine if somebody bought our podcast and it was throwing all this different shit with it. They want to review like the shows right after every weekly show and do this and do that. And then we could have someone else review Dynamite while you guys do this. What do you think would happen? You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things where you create something and then a third party can come in and
Mhm.
it kills the environment that you and your friends built, and that always gets people to leave, man. And I think that's what happened with the Elite, and I think that's going to continue to happen with the Elite and AEW. I think Cody was just still the beginning, and I think the rest will end up following suit overall, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that is a great comparison, bro. That is a great comparison. Although I could not imagine anybody telling
Oh fuck, we would
me
never do
me
it.
me nor you what to say. I can't imagine how we would react to
We can't.
something like that. We do have
We are
manager
too.
Logan, but you know,
We do got manager Logan, but
he
we are
does rule
too
with an iron
unprofessional for
fist.
that.
But he does
He
show
does.
up late, so technically he got more points than we do. So
Exactly, but like that happens all the time
it
with
does.
YouTube channels and this and that. They get bought, and then all the original people always leave because it's different, and they make it a company. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's so funny because like Tony Khan doesn't try to make it a company, but he runs it the way he wants to, and that turns a lot of people off.
Like a playhouse. He
Exactly.
runs it like a
He runs it
playhouse.
like exactly. He runs it like his fucking universe mode. And, people don't want to fucking play universe mode. Some people want to play my career and, some people want to do this and do that. No one
Yeah.
wants to play my faction, but you get my
Yeah.
point.
Exactly. So yeah, I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine. Even though there probably is one person that Sir K would listen to orders from, um, and it, and it ain't none of us. So, but
No.
regardless, um, yeah. So that is the news on AEW, and that is the news on Cody Rhodes feeling disrespected by AEW. Man, so crazy ass story. It really is a crazy ass story, and really, man, one day I hope we get the full
Um,
uncut dark side of the
yep.
ring on why Cody left AEW, because damn,
I need it, dude, because
this
it's
story just
crazy.
sounds so good. Um
Oh, dude, in fucking 10 years, we're gonna hit that drop, and it's gonna be legendary,
I
dude.
was
I
going to
can't wait already.
Yeah, by the time all of us are unk status, well, I'm already there, but
Fuck
by the
you, are
time
you?
everybody else, by the according to my niece, I am unk status, but that's a different story for a different day. But by the time
Oh,
we're
good.
all unk status, by the time everybody joins me in unk status and we get that story, um, that's going to be crazy. That is going to be
It is,
crazy.
dude.
However, speaking of AEW, we got some news on AEW and their production, because Tony Khan has made
Why? I mean,
What did you
sorry,
say?
go ahead. Said he's lying, but well, we could go ahead and let Tony Khan say what he was trying to say.
Tony Khan makes significant changes to AEW shows beforehand.
Hmm.
Brian Alvarez revealed the change via the Observer, noting that AEW has been doing actual production meetings for a while now. Tony Khan gathers a group, or gathers the top agents, announcers, and etc., all in a room together to go over things before the shows. This new format marks a significant change from Khan's earlier method. Tony Khan's production meeting, Tony's production meeting was, well, I go and I meet with these guys, and then I go meet with these guys. He he just did these meetings throughout the day, and that was what he considered production meetings. What? Other
Right.
so okay, so apparently his production meetings beforehand were, and I quote, I go and meet with these guys, and then I go and meet with these guys.
Fucking Belter, dude. It doesn't.
What?
Dog.
But it
That makes.
other other people were like, that's not a production meeting. So the point of the point of this is, of late, he is actually doing production meetings now.
Really, I couldn't fucking tell. Fucking production
I'm
still.
I'm
Hmm.
shocked they say he meets with comment or announcers.
Yeah. I would never guess, man. Especially like it sounds like shit.
You meet with them and they still sound that fucking horrendous? You mean you tell me
Like
you meet with Tony Schiavone and Excalibur and they go and do that? Are
good
you kidding me?
lord, dude.
Um, I don't even know what the hell that means. Apparently, his old meetings were, again, I meet with these guys and then I go and meet with these guys. That was the old production meeting. What the fuck does that mean? What?
I I think I might be able to. So that was the old production meeting. So I
Correct.
think from what I decoded from Dave Meltzer, I'm like a World War II decoder spy over here for Dave Meltzer. I think that's what it means. Is he would individually go up to like each part of the show production and like talk with them, but now he has like a one altogether meeting. I think that's what Dave
Yes.
Meltzer was trying to say.
Yes, because they say he now he gathers the top agents, announcers, and etc. all in a room together, as opposed to meeting with these guys and then meeting with these guys.
I might as well put second language in my resume, dude, because I could decode Dave Meltzer.
If you could do that, that's one of the hardest languages to decode. Um, so, so yeah, I mean, I guess it's good. I mean, I wish they worked. But I mean, at least he gets he still gets an F for effort. But I do wish that they worked. Maybe your announcers just need to go to announcer school. Maybe they need to go to the
Yeah.
WWE Performance Center because Lord fucking knows they need help. But yeah, I mean, again, I mean, it's good that he's gathering people in a meeting rather than meeting with these guys and then meeting with these guys. Um, but again, I mean, I wish they worked. Some of the again the production is still half the time. I just genuinely wonder what Mike Mansory is doing. What happened this past Wednesday? Oh, Christian Cage said, "I'm an asshole." And they blur the first one out, and then they don't blur it out the second time, but then they blur the third one. Like, what, what are we doing? Like, again, production to me is just still
So
it's just
bad.
it's just still just subpar at best. I mean, it just I still don't really understand a lot of what they got going on in production nowadays, bro, but at least he's trying, I guess you can say. Not working, but he's trying.
It's trying, I guess. Production's still kind of a mess overall.
Yeah.
But I guess he's trying. He went from going to this and there and this and that to having everybody together, man. So at least again, it's like when the teacher be like is like, you're gonna get an F on this, but at least please turn something in. That's what Tony Khan did. He at least turned something in. He still got an F, but at least he turned in something.
I guess. Um Speaking of turning something in, he did not turn in his women's AEW Tag Team Championships yet. Thank God. But we all know they're coming. In
Oh,
an
Jack, I
interview,
would I
oh.
would pay for an Unreal AEW documentary. I would pay money to see that. I'll give them $100 just to watch it, dude. I swear to God.
Well, do you remember when they did AEW Backstage and there would be like those clips of Tony and he's like screaming in Gorilla? He's like, damn it, damn it, damn it.
Fuck, goddamn, fuck. And then it just cuts out. I
Bug,
don't, I don't
bug,
even
bug.
remember what it is.
I think it was,
Was it
I
for like
think
a Vara match or something?
I thought it had something to do with Adam Cole's return match, or like he
Oh,
didn't want them to go off air. He wanted them to stay on air or something.
God damn it, fuck, god damn it. Oh, dude, I do
Oh,
remember that shit was hilarious. Yeah, I'd pay for that shit.
you know what I would pay for? I would pay for the brawl out security footage. I want to see what the
Yeah.
hallways of the Sears Center or the fucking Now Arena. I would pay to see what those hallways looked like that night. It probably
Oh,
looked
dude.
like a fucking zoo in that place, bro.
Probably
Everybody was
see
probably
running around. Because I remember some details came about after. Wasn't FTR? Didn't they just like watch it happen and then leave?
No,
Isn't they? Weren't they?
Dax. So FTR and Hangman all left the
Yeah.
arena by then. Because I remember hearing a story that CM Punk FaceTimed Dax at like 3 in the morning and told him what happened. And Dax was in his hotel room and he was like, "What?"
Well,
Um
my
and then Hangman said he heard about it that night too, but I really wonder what everybody would have done if everybody was there. It's crazy.
really wanted to.
It's crazy.
It's a
But
crap.
so Jack says, "Do you think MJF has any good equity? Uh, or sorry,
And
lost any good equity? He had to be a big star in WWE. If he ever jumped ship. Uh,
I don't think
honestly,
he
bro,
lost. Hmm.
yes, but I feel the story with the Hurt Syndicate has gained a lot of it back.
I
Um,
think it
bec-
has.
because for a long time he was doing some just next level, just
Bullshit.
dog shit, bro. I did not like the stuff with Adam Cole. I personally, I know a lot of people love it. I hated the American gimmick, but
Oh,
I'm just not a fan of gimmicks like that personally. I mean, if you're a fan of that kind of gimmick, I mean, maybe you liked it, but I did not personally. And then he was just doing like random shit. But the story with the Hurt Syndicate, man, they had another great segment this past week on Dynamite, but I again for a little bit I think he lost a little bit of equity, man, but not too much to tarnish anything, to be honest.
I would see what you mean, Jack. The solo star. I think it's mainly for me because he came back as the Wolf of Wrestling with a leather jacket and a whole new look and kind of like a semi, cool with the crowd, but still a heel attitude, which was really cool. And then Tony Khan just instantly reverted him back to classic
Oh my
MJF
god.
because that's what was safest. And I think that's what killed his solo momentum overall
Yeah.
was just reverting back to this character we had 4 years prior to what happened. So I feel like he should have kept that like leather jacket look, that kind of cool with the fans, but still a heel attitude. I
Just
I, I
rogue.
think they overall should. Exactly, he was rogue and he was sick. I think they
Yeah.
should have kept that.
I think so. I think so. I hated. I mean, I tell you, Jack, it was it damn near ripped my AEW soul out of my body, bro. I mean, it was like it was so disappointing to see him come back with a new character that I really liked. I liked the evolution of his character, and maybe one day you can go back and revisit, classic MJF, put him back in a suit. But dude, that shit lasted like a month, bro. It lasted like a month, man, and it was like it was so irritating when they just tried to flip roles and then try to spin it, try to gaslight us into thinking that Adam Cole's the baby face here. Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? Like,
Oh,
what?
the
Ugh.
whole fuck situation. I think he came back. He should have more been the leaning baby face, and Adam Cole turned on him, and was obviously more the heel in the situation.
Yep.
But they came back and played MJ up as the asshole, and it was
Ugh.
really Tony Khan handled MJF and Adam Cole's return horribly, man.
Horrible. Absolutely horrible, man. And even this year, it's like he did some good stuff with Hangman, but then they just dropped it. It like they had
He
a
was very interesting.
Yeah, like they had a good feud going into Revolution, and I was like, oh, okay, we're getting MJF back. Oh, there's stuff with Jeff Jarrett. How the fuck did I forget about? Well,
Oh,
I know how I forgot about that, but
it
oh
was
my,
so bad.
it was fucking horrible, man. We go from Adam Cole to Jeff Jarrett, and somehow Jeff Jarrett was better, but that's not saying much because the Adam Cole stuff was fucking atrocious. But then You know,
so bad.
they put him up against Hangman, and then they had a good feud. We get to Revolution. Hangman wins, and then they just drop all of it. It's like what the fuck are we doing?
I
What are we doing
it's
here? What?
don't understand. He still talks about Hangman, but I don't know, it was more interesting when they kept, like, getting in each other's way and, like, had the same goal and weren't enemies yet, but weren't cool. It was a really cool state, and they kinda just dropped that all.
He does not use the delayed brainbuster. He uses the.
Yeah.
He does use the armbar. What's his other finisher? Doesn't he have another finisher?
Yeah.
Or does he just use the ring?
He just de facto to the ring, dude, and, like, the ring, it's a cool weapon that, he has for himself, which is really cool. I just wish they slowed it down with that and gave him that brain buster back because it was dope. It was really dope.
Yeah. Yeah, that Wolf of Wrestling stuff was really cool. It's such a missed
It was
opportunity
so
there.
cool.
Um,
Mhm.
but anyways, yeah, so I think he might have there for a little bit, but honestly, no. Especially because even if he did lose a lot of equity, when he goes to WWE, they are
He'll
gonna
gain it back.
they are gonna fucking love him. WWE, wrestler WWE. I mean, if Max wants to wrestle until he's 50 or even 45, they got another, what, 20 years out of him? Like, that's nuts. He's already dipped his name into the Hollywood hat, so they know they're getting that. They know they're getting somebody that's markable. Again, he likes to do outside projects, and they love that, so they can fucking get celebrities that he's casted with, sitting front row at Raw. People have got nothing but good things to say about him. John Cena, I remember, was talking about he was recruiting him at the Iron Claw premiere. He was telling him to come play for the right team and whatever he
That's
was telling him.
hilarious.
He
Adam Sandler was praising MJF. I mean,
Becky
everybody
Lynch
loves the
praises
guy.
him, so I mean, yeah,
Mhm.
and god damn, I can't wait for those Mattel figures. His AEW figures are pretty nice. Don't get me wrong, but if you look at an AEW Penta figure versus what Mattel just showed off, Jazzwares is good, but there's levels to this. Okay, Jazzwares is very good. They do a great job, but there is fucking levels to this. And I can't wait for that as
Jack
well. Mm-hmm.
Jack asked if the tattoo he had was a shoot or a work. I think most of the tattoo was real. I don't think the AEW logo in it was real. That was always my theory on that.
I could see that. I could see that. I could very well see that, or I don't know. I don't know. Might be a real,
It's
might
very
not.
interesting. Might be. Exactly. Someone got to rob him of his sneakers and take his socks too, like Bronson Reed did,
Ja-
and
hey,
and we could see
uh,
it.
bro. Um,
Apparently, on the kickoff, Bronson Reed did come out with the shoes tied around his neck.
dude, legend, bro. Fucking legend.
Fucking goated.
Um, Jack says WWE could possibly rehash a MJF CM Punk feud. You
Ooh,
already know we're getting that.
you
At
know they're running
some
that back.
point,
You
we're
fucking
getting
know.
that. There is,
You always
and man, as fans, there is nothing better than two guys having history from a different place, and revisiting that kind of thing. Um, that is, man, that is going to be so good. And even too, we talk about like we talk about like Punk and Cody, like AEW. Like both of those guys were AEW guys, bro. Those guys have been teasing a feud for a long time. Every year, pretty much around Royal Rumble season, these two have some sort of promo battle with each other that just looks very interesting. And it's just crazy to see the amount of money that Tony left on the table, bro. Crazy stuff to see. But yeah, they're running that back. That's probably one of AEW's best feuds of all time. That's top 5 for easy top 5. That's an easy top 3. That's up there with Mariah, Tony, Swerve and Hangman, Punk and MJF. Um, uh, Hangman and Kenny, those kind of feuds. But yeah, it's definitely top 3. Actually, I would probably say that is top 3 for me. Punk MJF, Swerve Hangman, and then Mariah and Tony. Yeah, I would say.
Yeah,
I
I would say overall.
So yeah, so that's hope I answered your question. I think I did. But so AEW and their women's tag team championships. In an interview with Iridian Fierro, the AEW president Tony Khan has confirmed that the women's tag team belts are already made and ready to go. But despite having the physical titles in hand, Khan said that the company has held off on launching them due to a wave of injuries that has rocked the women's division. He says, I have a bunch of people I would like to get involved in a women's tag team tournament. Oh, brother. Potentially, Khan said there have been so many injuries in the women's division as the person who put together the women's casino gauntlet. Did he say that? As the He says, as the person who put together the women's casino gauntlet, I wish that we had came out of it healthier. A quarter of the people in the match got knocked out of the match and out of action indefinitely. Really? So
the person who fucking booked it.
So we had one match where I lost 25% of the roster in one match, so that was pretty hard. What the fuck were they doing in there? I mean, I don't remember.
What?
They were just in there rocking each other, bro. Wait, 25% of the match? Damn.
How do you have 25% of the fucking contestants in a match be injured post-match? Holy shit, dude.
They were in there fucking scrapping, bro. Listen, Tony, if you wanted to, hold on a couple more months, maybe even a couple more years, it won't be any sweat off my back. Take as much time as you need. And I really, really, really mean that. Please take as much time as you need because these titles are going to absolutely mean nothing. It's going to be Julia Hart and Sky Blue, Ty J. I've seen a lot of people saying Tony could get Team Kick, which he could. Tegan Knox and Dakota Kai. That could be cool. I mean, who?
And the problem with an AEW Women's Tag Division is what was the problem with the WWE tag division? They'll have some teams now they could throw the titles on, and then once all of those teams been champion, you will not have a fucking worthy division anymore, and it's just gonna dry out. Most of the time, love women's wrestling, but women's tag team championships don't work a lot of the times.
Yeah, I've seen people were trying to cancel Tony Khan for saying this because they believe that his division is more than healthy and capable for women's tag gold. Like, dude, shut up. I mean, shut up. Yeah, I mean, and seriously, and even at that, he's got all these fucking teams. Name one of them you care about. Name one fucking team in the AEW Women's Tag Team Division that you fucking care about.
I care about Harley Cameron and what's her name, Penelope Ford. I think are they a team? I think they're a team.
Harley Cameron. It's Penelope Ford and Megan Bain.
Oh, shit.
Harley Cameron. This guy doesn't even know the fucking team. This guy doesn't even know the tag team division. Penelope.
She homies with somebody?
Oh, she was homies with Anna Jay, but then Tay Mello came back, so she's been like a team on Collision with Mercedes. Mercedes is like they're not a team, but like they've been teasing like Mercedes warming up to her, I guess.
Yeah, do not fucking introduce tag team titles to this division.
Please.
Please do that.
Yeah, I forgot about I forgot about Megan Bain and Penelope Ford. But yeah, I
Megan Bain
mean,
completely.
they they yeah, I I I don't know what to tell them there, bro. That is just not a good idea. That is just not a fucking good idea whatsoever. Yeah, I would not do that, Tony. Please, for the love of God, please take as much time as humanly possible. Much time as you need, man. Um
Please.
yeah,
Please.
again, people are trying to cancel the guy. Please shut up. I mean, why the fuck? There's no rush for women's tag team championships. The titles are going to mean nothing if the men's tag team championships mean nothing. If the TNT championship means nothing, if 90% of the other fucking belts they have on the show mean nothing, then what makes you think Tony, again, he can't even book a men's tag division. You expect him to book a
Oh,
women's tag division? Come on,
like,
bro.
dog. The men's AEW tag division is worthless, dude. And like you said, you expect them to book a women's? Oh, it's over with, man. It's over with. Twitter's gonna be happy that first month of those titles' existence, and then they're gonna be mad that they're not featured that much.
That's exactly how this goes.
It's exactly how it always goes. It's what happened for the fucking WWE women's. It's what's gonna happen for the AEW women's.
I can't even tell you who the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions are. Oh, it's Judgment Day.
Live in
Live.
yeah, Judgment Day. Oh, I mean, Raquel and God damn
My case in point. Case in fucking point. This guy said
it. Fuck.
live. My point
God.
exactly. So, um, speaking of injuries, Jay White, King Switch. According to Fightful, Switch Bade, Jay White.
Spade.
Dude, I'll never forget that fucking Dynamite where Excalibur called him Switch Bade. It was like your timing, because I remember you texted in our group chat Switch Bade, and and as soon as that popped up, literally as soon as I get the notification, I just hear Marina Shafir chokes out Switch Bade. Like, what? Did he?
Fuck, man. Switch Bade. Oh, dude, that was like that month straight where
Oh,
Excalibur and Tony
bro.
Schiavone were on a legendary run, dude.
My
Fucking,
man was not drinking his W, bro. He was so mentally unfocused.
he was hitting the Kyle Fletcher. He was hitting the fucking Malachi back. He was, bro, that man was on a run, dude.
This is all orchestrated by the leader of the Hurt Syndicate, MJF. Actually, I think that one was Tony Schiavone.
Dude, both of them, they both just be doing random shit, and it's
Poor
fucking
Taz,
amazing. It's
bro.
horrible.
Poor
Oh,
Taz.
that poor man. That poor man.
So, Switchblade Jay White has been out of action, dealing with a hand injury. Those spoken to claim that White also had been dealing with a shoulder injury. Sources in AEW have said that White had began weighing whether or not he should get shoulder surgery, though no word on if a decision was made. If so, it was possible that Jay White could miss the rest of 2025.
Damn. That
Yikes.
sucks, dude. That sucks. I love Jay White. I hope when he gets back, Tony Khan will really put his foot to the gas with using it and booking
Please.
Jay White, man. I really hope so, please. That man is a beast. He's great at everything, has everything you would ever want in a guy, man. So hopefully, man, hopefully he uses him when he comes back. But I do wish Jay White the best in his recovery.
Me too, man. Me too. He's one of my favorites in AEW. And I wish I wish well, that's a different story. But I wish AEW would bring him to that level of star that we do see Adam Page and Swerve Strickland and Tony Storm and just people that Tony Khan likes and wants to use. I want to see him there. I think everybody else does. If this guy does not have a world championship by the time his contract is up, then we are doing something so fucking wrong. It is not even funny, man. But um, hopefully, hopefully, man, sooner rather than later, Switch can get back and back in the mix of things again. And I really want to see Tony Khan actually use the guy, like I said, to the level that he uses some of his other favorites, man. Because I really think there's a lot of potential there. Like Serkay said, he's pretty much got everything you'd want in like a pro wrestler. He can talk. He's not like, again, he's not John Cena on the mic, but he can talk, and he can wrestle his ass off. And he's very, yeah, yes to both of those, bro. The look, the song, he's great. So hopefully he can get back and be used the way he should be. So yeah,
Hopefully.
Well, Sir K, I think it's time to hunker down and saddle up because AEW announces that World's End is coming to Chicago at the Now Arena in Schaumburg.
Of course, the fucking shit arena.
As first announced by AEW CEO and General Manager and Head of Creative Tony Khan on Q101 Chicago, AEW World's End will be held at the Now Arena on Saturday, December 27th. Tickets on sale September 8th on AEWTix.com. World's End is coming to Chicago, man. It's a dope poster they put out. It's a dope poster. Don't know why they went to the Now Arena. I don't know why they didn't at least go to the Win Trust, but it's neither here or there. I mean, yeah, I really don't know why they didn't actually, because I think the Now Arena and Wintrust are fairly similar in capacity. There's just a difference in niceness in the arenas. Wintrust is a lot nicer than the Now Arena, but nonetheless, this is good. I'm fucking glad we're not getting All Out again. So if you are in the arena, maybe you got nothing going on around this time, you want to head over to AEW World's End. You're in the area, man, right after Christmas. And you want to go, depending on how cheap the tickets are, you're in the Chicago area. We're getting World's End, which again is actually really dope, to be honest. So Chicago will be getting the final of the C2. So that's cool. Yeah. And if you're in Chicago, you can get show merchandise that's not All Out. Wonderful.
Oh,
wonderful, man.
Look at that, man. Too bad we fucking don't go to these shows anymore.
Darn it.
AEW. We would have been able to get a World's End shirt, even though World's End is probably like my least favorite pay-per-view, theme that they do. I hope they kind of change the logo from here to then. Because I do like the whole space theme, but they use the same logo 2 years in a row already.
Yep.
So I hope they do change it. They've been changing all the other logos, so I hope so. But overall, I am glad they're bringing different shows to different locations. I think that is good. We're not getting All Out for the 7th year in a fucking row. We're getting World's End, so which is good. I hope we keep saying it, but we hope they keep this system up of doing different shows here and doing different shows there. I really hope they keep that up. And yeah, I'm not a big World's End guy, but their tickets are usually a good price, so I will say that. So, for the fans that do like to go, it'll probably be good for them, man. Even though I also would have preferred the Wintrust. I think that just it's a better drive, it's a better location, overall, man. But or a shorter drive, I'll give you that. But overall, I think it is a nice decision, man.
Yes, 100%, man, 100%. Again, just glad we ain't getting All Out again, bro. Fucking so glad. Now, let's just hope sooner rather than later we can get a Double or Nothing, please.
Oh,
at least
please.
Revolution.
That's all I want. We like just give us a double or nothing. You might actually get us to go if you give us double or nothing, man.
Yes. So with that, that is actually all the AEW news we have for today. And now we're about to put Excalibur and Tony Schiavone on because these boys need themselves some W energy. So, W is an energy drink loaded with vitamins and nootropics formulated to improve focus without getting the jitters. And as we all know, on Wednesday nights, Excalibur and Tony Schiavone definitely need to improve their mental focus because they give me the jitters listening to them talk. W is a clean formula that is sugar-free, 0-calorie, and free from fillers and artificial colorings. Following along Excalibur with 150 milligrams of caffeine per serving. You can get your W products today with the link below and code NHP at checkout to save yourselves 10% on your next W purchase. So you got 10% on us. Excalibur and Tony Schiavone, man. Boost that mental focus. No more Switchblade. No more Timeless Tony Form. No more Leader of the Hurt Syndicate MJF. No more Malachi back. Go cop yourself some W, man.
Like always, gotta shout out W, man. Whether workout, whatever you may need the energy for, man. And you mentioned AEW, I'll mention WWE. It's about to be a big weekend for them. SummerSlam, 2 nights in a row. Maybe you might be a little drained from after the first night or 10 night or this or that. If you need the energy, you don't want the jitters. You want to be able to focus on the show you're watching. Try W, and it'll taste good all at the same time.
There you have it. As always, shout out to the official sponsor of what we do here at NHP. Thank you, as always, to the great people over at W. So, there you go. Before we, I guess, fully get on with the WWE stuff, we do have a bit of TNA news. This is coming from Leon Slater. Leon Slater has a contract coming up. According to Fightful Select's Corey Brennan, Leon's deal is set is a 3-year deal. When he signed, it was a 3-year contract, and it is set to expire in fall of 2026. That means the 20-year-old. Oh wow, I didn't know he was 20. The 20-year-old X Division champion, who won the title at Slammiversary, even received a backstage nod from AJ Styles, could technically become a free agent in just over a year. Leon first made his TNA debut with the promotions at the promotion's UK tour in October of 2023, with his official signing announced at the Coventry stop. Despite being under a TNA contract, Slater has also made sporadic appearances for the company since then, continuing to wrestle regularly across the UK indie scene. Yeah, I think we all know how this ends for Leon Slater. I think he is the next.
Yeah.
I think he is the next on WWE's Grim Reaper hit list for for talent that they are knocking on the door of. So.
You know it, man. They're taking Joe Hendry. They're taking Leon Slater. Literally, that AJ style appearance was literally just telling him, "Yeah, bro, we gonna hire you in like a year." That's all that appearance was. And you know how WWE works. We said at the instant this deal was announced, they're gonna work with them and take as much talent as they can, and they're on it, man. So he seemed very promising. I have heard his name a lot. And I was very shocked when I think I read yesterday, the first time I read that he was 20 years old. So I'm very interested to see how that all goes, man. He'll be going to NXT in about a little over a year.
1,010%. They're gonna need some. They're gonna need some replenishment too after they send out Obafemi, hopefully soon enough.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So. Now moving on to the WWE news, we're going to start you guys off with WWE Unreal. So, what is the immediate backstage reaction to Unreal? Also, why does this show exist? Well, according to Fightful, The immediate internal reactions to WWE Unreal within WWE were a lot of happiness regarding the buzz coming out of the show. With that, the Wrestling Observer reports that some very involved with WWE Unreal reportedly claim this is a vehicle for Paul Levesque to present him as the Dana White of WWE. Someone who was very involved with the idea, or someone who was very involved said the idea was Levesque. It's a vehicle for Levesque. They're trying to present Levesque. Why does he keep calling? They were trying to present Levesque as Dana White. Why is he just calling him by his last name? Or just call him Paul? With the idea that the star, the mastermind, is Levesque, and the wrestlers come and go. Their pieces. What?
He's okay. Holy shit, man. But Jack mentions it in the comments about how like Maven pointed out that a lot of it looks staged, and I did see a lot of people talking about it of how they think this is like the new like kayfabe, that we have like this fake look into the backstage process, the look that they only want us to see. And I see that a lot, and I think I really am kind of buying into that, where we are getting a glimpse into some of the process, but a lot of the process is the process that they want us to see.
Yes.
And like people are saying this, like this is the new kayfabe. I could definitely say, I could definitely, not even seeing the show yet, I can definitely understand that, and I wouldn't be shocked at that.
Yeah, it's like, I see what you're saying, and I do agree with you, man, because it's like they want us to see, a perfect reality, right? But perfectly imperfect, right? So they so they want us to see, emotional parts, and they want us to see, the tough creative process, but it's not the real process. The real process happens when the cameras are off. We'll never see that, right? But like they want us to see, like I said, this perfectly imperfect reality of like you said, almost like the new kayfabe in a way. It's like, they want us to get a glimpse of it so we feel like we're, seeing the process, but it's not, it's the process they want us to see, right? We're not going to see The Rock, politicking his way into the fucking main event of WrestleMania, though that's not, they're not going to show that part of the process. But what they will show is like, again, like the moments in Gorilla of people hugging, and like, from what I hear, from what I hear, Michael Hayes being an absolute fucking donut about the Royal Rumble. So they want us to see that kind of stuff. But yeah, I could see that, man. But again, I don't know what kind of, I don't know what they got against Levesque. I don't know why they just don't call him Paul. They call him Levesque. The star, the mastermind is Levesque. I've never heard anybody refer to Triple H as just Levesque. Either you call him Paul, you call him, what do people call him? Triple Nose, Triple K. What's his other nicknames?
Triple Nose,
Trips,
Triple K. There's there's some other ones. There's one that I don't think I should say on this show, but there's a lot. There's a lot of funny ones.
So yeah, I don't know what I don't know what Levesque did to them, but I mean, I could see that. I could see that. But then again, they've also done a lot to pretty much shove down our throats that this is, I mean, for a long time, all they've said was this is the Paul Levesque era, right? I mean, they've beat it into our brains for a while. So I guess now we're getting like a little bit glimpse of that. Or like you said, man, this is the new kayfabe, right?
And I don't think it's less of like Triple H or even WWE themselves wanting Triple H to be the face. I think it's TKO that wants Triple H to be the face, because they want a face that everyone can assume with creative. So let's say, shit goes south. it's Triple H the first person they're blaming and not TKO, even though the fans overall do always just shit on TKO whenever something goes wrong, which I
Yeah.
don't think they want. But I think TKO kind of wants Triple H to be, the image of, management in the company.
Yeah. No, for sure. For sure. So, yeah, that. That is why the show exists, and that is, I guess, what they're trying to do for Triple H in this whole process. So, interesting there. But yeah, that is the news on WWE Unreal. Like I said, we'll probably have a bit of an insight tomorrow on the SummerSlam review on kind of just how that whole thing is just, what's kind of going on with that whole
Yeah.
what the show was like, what my vibe, what Sir K's vibe of the show was. So we could talk about that a little bit tomorrow, man. But so far, it seems like everyone in WWE is happy about it. Did they only put out one episode, do you know, or is this going to be like is this a multi-season thing?
I heard it wants to be a multi-season thing, but I heard the numbers aren't as good as, they thought it would be, so there might not be another season of it.
Hmm.
Or like another iteration of this. Yeah, because I heard like even though people are talking about it, I heard the numbers were like weren't as good as they wanted them to be for the show, at least as of a couple days ago. So I don't know yet.
Gotcha.
Very curious.
Gotcha. So, Jack says, "Did you guys hear?" Okay, so there's 5 episodes in season 1. All right,
Okay,
appreciate you, bro.
thank you.
Um, he said, "Did you hear Drew take shots at Travis Scott?" I did. I heard the company greenlit people to talk shit about him because of the falling out that they had. So I
Oh
heard
sure.
I heard WWE like greenlit that, which is a crazy thing to like mention. Like, did they just walk up to everybody in the locker room and just say, "Hey, if anybody did want to shit on Travis Scott, you're good to go." Um,
Fuck that guy. We hate him. So you guys can talk all the shit you want. Like, all right, that's some real hatred, but okay.
so yeah, I mean that I wonder how that was brought up, but yeah, I did hear that. That is pretty interesting. Um, Speaking of Drew McIntyre was in a lot of heated concern this past week because he was trapped in the UK. He says he was home for his buddy's wedding and they would not let him board his flight because of some sort of travel issues or whatever. Um he talked about how they needed to get home because they had a sick animal and he had to like let his wife go home and he just had to stay in the UK. His promo was so funny. Dude, it's like a video. It's like a
It's
video of
like at a
him.
farm.
Yeah, he's like walking. He's like walking in a park, and he's like, yeah, it's like it maybe looks, it gives like a park vibe, but yet like a farm vibe. And he captions it, and he's like, "Why am I cutting a promo with cows?" And then at the end of the video, he tells Jelly Roll, "By the time I get finished with you, you're gonna look like one of these fuckers." And and puts the camera on a fucking cow. He tells him he's gonna gain all his weight back.
Crazy. Because I know that dude's been talking about like his weight loss journey and
Yes.
shit. He just telling him he's gonna gain it all back.
He tells it
Drew is hilarious.
he tells him, "By the time I'm done with you, you're gonna gain all the weight back and you're gonna look like one of these fuckers," as he puts the camera on a fucking cow, just just standing in the middle of the walkway. So but regardless, Drew McIntyre has since confirmed he is back in the United States, and as such, the tag team match at SummerSlam this weekend will go ahead as planned.
Or Drew.
Yeah, right.
He made it back.
It would have been a blessing in disguise had he missed. I seen everybody wanting the Miz to sub in for him. I don't know.
Okay.
Uh,
That's random shit. Like what?
well, him and Logan Paul have history. They
Oh
did
yeah, they
team once
fucking do.
before.
And they turned on each other, so I don't know what the fuck they would team again. Fucking A. You gotta love it. Hmm.
He was supposed to be doing what Jelly Roll is doing now. I'm
Oh
confused.
yeah, Travis Scott was supposed to be doing what Jelly Roll's doing now.
Oh,
This all was Travis's spot from what people have what rumors said. And since
Travis
that
and
falling
Drew
out there,
McIntyre was the plan?
basically, yeah.
Oh,
I don't know if that was the exact plan, but like all the Jelly Roll involvement was
gotcha.
supposed to be Travis
Okay.
Scott.
Okay. So this was
Was
probably going to
allegedly.
end up being like Travis Scott versus uh
Yeah,
somebody.
like
Yeah, I get what you're
pro-
saying. I get what you're saying.
yeah. The celebrity spot on SummerSlam went to Jelly Roll instead. It's like what a fucking celebrity to pick, but okay.
Gotcha. Interesting, interesting. That's very interesting. Um we'll see how Jelly Roll does, but I mean, I didn't really care to
Yeah,
see Travis either way.
yeah, exactly. Travis is on the bad side now, so
That Mania shit, that was the GOAT's last Mania, bro. I'll never fucking forget. John, if you want to do one more Mania, bro, nobody's blaming you, okay? I mean, just saying.
I'm telling
Ju-
you, just do one more Mania, bro.
bro, you could miss everything all next year. If you just want to show up for Mania 42, brother, nobody's holding it against you because good. That was the GOAT's, the greatest to ever do its last fucking WrestleMania was standing next to this goof with the hardcore title. What a joke. Um
Oh,
so we got some news on Hulk Hogan. Well, other than the fact that Jimmy Hart shares that Hulk Hogan was devastated by the negative reaction during his appearance on the Raw on Netflix debut in Los Angeles.
me, brother.
They fucking hate me, brother.
Come on, Jack. What did I ever do to these people?
Are these people really still booing me because I was in the New World Order, brother?
Last time I was in LA, I was a heel, brother. They still boo me.
What?
Get the Hogan, dude.
But other than
Goated
that,
liar.
according to TMZ, Ben Affleck and Matt Damon have scrapped their plans for their Hulk Hogan Killing Gawker movie.
Ugh,
I'm sorry.
man.
I'm sorry. This is a goated trial. I do not have a 10-inch penis. that
Oh,
was a
dude,
goated court trial.
there's not much differences between, Terry Bollea and Hulk Hogan, the character, man. But the rumors are not true. I do not have a 10-inch penis.
Why would he
Like,
say
what?
that in court, bro? Hulk Hogan, man. What a guy.
Truly go the worst way.
Goated storyteller. Kurt
He
Angle,
really is.
he was behind me. He's yoking my shit up, dude. Really?
I wrestle over 400 days a year, Jack.
So,
Time zones.
400 days a year.
Because the time zones. Goated, man. That man was truly goated.
You know, when he picked Andre up, he tore every muscle and ligament in his back. He couldn't walk.
Yeah, I did hear Gawker were like horrible people. I think there was like a celebrity that I was hearing stories just about how like actually Gawker were like horrible people, the shit they would report on.
Well, they made poor Hulk Hogan feel very conscious about his size. It did not quite measure up to the 10 inches that
To the
Gawker
rumors.
anticipated.
Yeah, I was gonna say all the fans thought, he was gonna have a tiny penis for some reason. Little teeny little
So,
Hulksters.
oh my god. I do this for the teeny little Hulksters.
What gets me off, brother? With the teeny little Hulkster.
They're just cranking my
Goated.
knob, Jack.
He has some of the best sus promos ever.
Oh, dude. What was there's only one Hulk Hogan, daddy. That's a fucking great line. I'm
Classic.
sorry, man. So
Only
anyways,
one Hulk Hogan daddy.
so 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 Ben Affleck and Matt Damon have scrapped their plans for their Hulk Hogan Killing Gawker movie. The decision is reportedly unrelated to Hogan's passing, with it being scrapped a while ago for undisclosed reasons. Damn. I really
Well, I
wanted
Ben
to see
Affleck's
who
always.
played Hulk.
I went. I think it was gonna be Ben Affleck actually. He's a pretty muscly guy. I could have
Yeah,
seen him trying to pull that off.
that's true. He's just got
But
the
I know.
handlebar
I was gonna say, it would be
Oh my
hilarious
god.
if they did like the most like fucking Party City fucking like costume as the actual like makeup and like shit for the movie. That would be hilarious. Just turn it into a production comedy.
Man, that's some funny stuff, bro. Um but yeah, so it looks like if anybody was looking forward to Killing Gawker, the Hulk Hogan movie, it is scrapped. So and it seems like this has been the decision for a while, which I remember when we first reported on this that there was going to be a movie about this. And then it kind of went cold for a while. I kind of assumed it just wasn't happening. So there you go. Hogan is the Hogan Killing Gawker movie is no more. I know. I was excited for that. I just wanted to see them recreate the court scene, bro. I needed to see
I
that.
love that. I would love fucking Ben Affleck just saying that shit.
That is
In
false.
some shitty
I do not have a
fucking
10-inch penis.
movie.
So, Hulk Hogan's boy, Vince McMahon. Vince was recently in the news for a rather wild story. Jack says, how do we feel about WWE dropping the ball on R-Truth's character? We talked about it actually as soon as like he came back with this new character. I figured this would be the case.
Oh yeah, it's WWE. They're petty. They just re-signed, the man to make the fans happy. They were never going to use him to the extent that he should have been used.
Yeah.
And we said it. And look what happened. They basically completely dropped all the, Ron Killing's time, all that cool stuff was damn near instantly dropped on television.
Yep. So, Vince McMahon has found himself in the middle of a scary situation last week. I actually think they said this was the same day Hogan passed. So this might have been, was that Wednesday of last week? A scary situation last week after he found himself in the middle of a scary situation last week after being involved in a multi-car accident in Connecticut. The crash occurred around 9 a.m. on Thursday. It was Thursday, not Wednesday. Just hours before news broke about the death of Hulk Hogan. According to the official police crash report via TMZ, McMahon was driving his 2024 Bentley northbound on Route 15 in Westport when he rear-ended a 2023 BMW 430. The impact forced both vehicles into a wooden beam guardrail in the median. Things escalated further when debris from the wreck scattered into the opposing lane, striking a third vehicle, a southbound Ford Fusion. Good lord. The force of the collision was intense enough to trigger airbags in both McMahon's Bentley and the BMW. Fortunately, all three drivers were wearing seatbelts and no injuries were reported. Still, the damage was substantial. All vehicles had to be towed from the scene, and roughly 30 feet of guardrail was destroyed. McMahon was cited by authorities with a misdemeanor summons for reckless driving and following too closely. He's now scheduled to appear in court late next month to address the charges. Post Wrestling followed up on this, and they said the crash Reports claim McMahon was driving around 80 to 90 miles an hour, speeding in and out of cars while being followed by an unmarked state trooper before crashing.
And that is so illegal.
Holy
Holy
sh!
hell. Like that actually might get him wrapped up worse than the the big case he's in, which is crazy.
Wouldn't that be some shit? Out of
I mean,
everything
people
that
were
gets
like,
him wrapped up with the law, it's a fucking car accident.
that's what people were tweeting too. Like, imagine this is the crime that does him in. Is fucking just reckless driving. But it's crazy, man. That is wild. Man was fucking cutting up at 90 miles per hour
Cutting
at
up,
his
bro.
old age. Like imagine you get in a car accident, bro, and you get out the car to fucking go confront the dude, and McMahon fucking stumbles out, dude. I would. You ever heard that story of of when Hogan saved the fucking dude from the car crash?
Bro.
It's like a
Do you
fever
remember when
dream. Imagine.
do you remember when everybody was memeing that with the Batman? You know, when he walks up to the penguin, everybody was like, "This is Hogan."
Hogan walking up the car. Like I would think I'm dead if I fucking if I'm like feel just being saved by from a car crash. I open my eyes and I just see Hulk Hogan. I got you, brother.
Get out of the car,
I would think
Jack.
I'm dead. I would think I'm already dead.
Yeah.
But that's wild, dude. Apparently, like
Yeah.
Jack says, he did only get a misdemeanor.
Yeah.
It is McMahon after all. He's a rich guy, but it's crazy. The fact that that unmarked trooper was like following behind him, that might get him caught up worse than the actual car crash itself. It's very
Hmm.
interesting to see how things can go, man. And I hope the dude gets locked up, man. I've been waiting for it. I think I've been praying on it, and hopefully it's soon to pass.
Bell says, do you retire driver's license in the U.S.? Typically,
I forget.
our driver's license do have expiration dates on them. If you are a good driver, you don't really have any accidents, they do let you re-up online, and you don't have to because if you do have a lot of violations, you actually have to go to the DMV and
And like
retake.
retake everything.
Yeah, you have to
Uh-huh.
retake the road test. Typically what a lot of old people will do is just stop driving, or you get these stubborn old people on the road that
Oh, for
decide they do want to go out but drive 20 in a fucking 45. So, um
my my 80-year-old grandma still drives. She just got her stuff renewed, man.
yeah.
It it
Yeah.
it's fairly easy for most of the US to get your license. It really is.
Uh,
Really
y-
the
y-
only
y-
thing that stops you is DUIs.
yes. Yes, they will. Yeah, if you which this is reckless driving, so with him being
That
at that
could.
age, it would take a couple of them though for him to
Mhm.
really, cuz even even with DUIs, typically they'll suspend you
3,
a couple
right.
times before they, yes, it is 3.
Mhm.
They'll suspend you a couple times for somebody that I know, um I think maybe it would have been 30 days or whatever. He was without his license, and he got so many, well, 3. Now he's just got a suspended license indefinitely. So that's typically how they do it around here. But it would take a lot for him to. It'll probably take a couple more for them to actually take his license from him. Um,
Let anybody
unless
drive.
unless he shows up in court so damn delirious, they're just like, if he really is that old and that out of it, and he shows up again that delirious, there probably is a chance they could take it away. But typically, the way it works here, they let anybody drive, to be honest. That's typically how things do work here. Some of these motherfuckers on the road here, when I tell you, I can't. I can't make out how some of these people pass the fucking test. It is ridiculous. I mean, they will quite literally give a driver's license to goddamn near anybody here. I mean, legit, bro.
Motorcycle, dude. I was driving the other day, and there was literally a moped in the middle of the lane going 20 in a 50, and everyone had to fucking go around them, dude. It's like, dude, what the fuck? Like, dude, I'm telling you, in America, especially in like Illinois and Chicago, anybody can get their license. I'm telling
Yes,
you,
yes.
and keep them at that.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but it is not. It is not hard. It is not. It is not hard to to re-up on a license or keep your license or whatever. The only thing, like I said, they don't really play about is like reckless driving type of stuff or DUIs. They really don't
Yeah.
play about out here. Um.
Oh,
Oh. Jack says some
oh,
asshat
bikes.
passed me in the bike lane and cracked my passenger mirror, but it was declared my fault. That oh,
Bike
it's the stupidest shit, bro.
bicycle, people who bike cyclists, dude, are the worst. Have you ever seen like the videos? There'll be just a car stopped and they will just ram into the fucking back of it and then blame the guy. Like, dude, cyclists are the worst people on American roads. I'm telling you. The fact that they're allowed on the roads is crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's man.
It's America for you. You gotta love American roads. They're just the best.
Yeah, it really is, bro. It really, really is. Um,
Yeah, I'm sure
yeah,
we'll have to retake the test.
yes. So Logan says they will get into for older people they will get into an accident or something and they'll have to retake the test to make sure you're still suitable to drive. Yeah, that is
Hmm.
that is true. Like I said, especially with him being that old and especially the way we've seen him look, he's probably rather delirious. So,
I hear that too. I always hear like he's in very bad like mental health
yeah,
nowadays. I
yeah.
do
I
hear
hear
that a lot. So
driving 80 or 90 is some
it's
crazy
insane.
work. That man
That's
was
insane.
oh yeah, yeah, that's pretty crazy. That is pretty crazy,
Wait, there was
bro.
a car in the bike lane? That's insane. That's even worse. Oh no.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh wow, what an asshole.
Oh wow, what an ass. Yeah, that's the worst.
Typically, whenever like me and Sir K will drive into like the city, like whenever we head over to like Pro Wrestling Tees or there's like a games shop downtown that I
Crazy.
really like to go to, holy fuck. It is just
Oh.
it is the worst, man. It is the
Hmm.
absolute worst. Thankfully, man, thankfully, typically I know how to keep calm or keep things under control so
Yeah.
it doesn't get too
We're not
much, but
freak
like
outers.
yeah, not at
Exactly.
all, not at all, but like
Makes that's the most important piece to driving is just staying calm.
yeah, it really is.
You get
It's
angry, just stay calm.
exactly. So, um yeah, but yeah, so that's that. That is our driving lesson. So, you guys could get like us. You guys could get like us, not have any violations, and it'll be a hell of a lot easier than it will be for Vince McMahon to re-up on your driver's license because you could just go online and do it with no violations.
Unless you got unless you got them red light tickets, which gladly they don't actually count for your
Yeah,
record, but
they do
they'll get
not.
you out here, I'm telling you.
Yes, they will. Yes, they will. And catch a brother slipping, bro. But
They caught me slipping.
is traffic bad in Oregon? I hear good things about Oregon.
I wouldn't be anywhere I hear that like actually gets snow always has like the worst drivers I hear.
So us.
Oh, yeah. Anything
Us,
like
New
above
York.
the
Yeah. Yeah. That's funny. So, anyways, so there was your driving lesson with me and Sir K, and good lord, Vince, what a guy, 80 or 90 into a
God,
and rear ended somebody going 80 or 90. He is lucky he is not dead.
he is
Um,
very did you see the picture of the car?
I did, I did. It was
Dude,
it was fucked.
oh,
Yeah, it was.
mhm,
It was.
man.
So yikes. Yeah, Chicago's the same way, man. Chicago's the same way.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I can only imagine. I can only imagine.
Chicago is just it's got its drivers, man.
Which me and you have a buddy from California who says Chicago traffic is nothing compared to California, which is quite scary.
I couldn't
Um,
that's horrible.
Chicago or California in New York, or maybe even like Florida, like the big, like Miami-ish, Orlando type
I'm
of
sure it's
areas. I'm sure those are just, I'm sure those are absolutely so ridiculously cooked.
oh, you know it.
But heading a little, speaking of California, heading a little south of California is Mexico.
Mm.
And AJ Styles said, whoa. AJ Styles says on the
Oh yeah,
SummerSlam kickoff that this weekend might be his last SummerSlam.
I did see that. I did see that notification. It's crazy, man. I
That's
think,
interesting.
I think we might be coming up on it.
Yikes. I didn't expect to
This
see
thing
that.
is gold dust to WWE. I mean, I think he said before. I think he just recently re-signed with AEW, and I think
Did.
he said he wants to stay in AEW. I think he, as a character and as like a performer, wants to be separate from Cody.
I think so, and if he goes back to WWE, I don't see them doing anything with him.
No, I wouldn't. I don't see them using him. Besides being, well, probably what he's trying to avoid is just Cody's brother.
Mm-hmm. Either that or he's
So,
going to be in
and
that R-Truth, you're here because you're a
you're
veteran.
here because you're a veteran. They would probably do gold dust because to management it's funny. Um, I was I never really got to watch any of that, so I really wouldn't know if I would want that or not. But yeah, I don't think that would probably happen.
Yeah. So, AAA. WWE reportedly wants to use AAA as developmental.
No way. Who could have saw that coming?
Yeah, right. According to The Observer, they want it to be a different style than NXT or WWE because they're going to try to market it as something different for the American audience. But they want the wrestlers to all learn American style, learn to do English promos, because their idea is AAA in their mind is going to be akin to NXT Europe, NXT UK, where you have stuff, you have shows, but the goal is to get these guys to NXT and later WWE. They're going to open a performance center in Mexico. The idea right now is not to have an arena in the performance center, but just a performance center where they can take independent wrestlers, young guys who feel they have a lot of promise on the independent scene, and try to teach them American style, AAA style, promos, character development, all of those things. They're going to have American instructors and Mexican instructors. The Mexican coaches are going to have to go to Orlando to learn how they do it in WWE, so they teach them how they want them to do it in WWE. And I officially think that was the most fluent
Yes.
Dave Meltzer has ever spoken in his entire life.
That was a Dave Meltzer story. Holy shit.
Yes, I'm floored.
Oh wow.
Um, I'm absolutely floored by that. Um, I think we all seen this as coming. I don't mind that they use that. I just really did not want them to change the whole thing to NXT Mexico and change the whole look and identity of the show. I figured they would do a thing where, again, it is developmental, but at the same time, keep the essence of AAA, keep the essence of AAA and everything it's about, and the look and the feel of it, and the style of it. And I do think, mixing a little bit of American style with lucha libre is the way to go. I wouldn't want to see them just completely make it an NXT type style. I would like to keep it as a lucha libre style, but I do I obviously don't blame them for wanting a just flashes of American style in there. I mean, what they're describing here doesn't sound so bad. We'll have to wait and see how things actually come off, but from what here sounds so bad, like doesn't sound so bad. I just hope, like I said, they don't end up, which I don't think they will, but I just did not want them to again rebrand it to NXT Mexico and do all this just overly WWE things with AAA. So it doesn't sound like they are, and hopefully they don't come to that conclusion eventually.
No, exactly. That's the kind of vibe I got from that, is that they gladly don't want to just make it NXT. They overall want to keep the more wrestling-based style down there and whatnot. Just, Americanize some aspects, maybe slow it down a little bit. And obviously, get some like different English language in there to make promos more watchable for like WWE audience.
Mm.
And I think that's fine. They obviously want to start some type of developmental down there. Never saw that coming. But I do like how they kind of overall want to like let it be and let it be its own style, just adding what seems to be more of a casual watchability to the show, which I think is good.
For sure. And speaking of that, they have two people in mind because the Wrestling Observer is reporting El Grande Americano will reportedly be a major player in in AAA and won't be treated as a comedy figure.
Really.
Uh
Hmm.
we will have to wait and see about that. It I don't
Wonder-
know how you plan to do that. Because he's a he is a
The whole point
he's
is like guy faking, being a luchador. That's the whole gimmick. I could see, so many like people are trying to take the mantle. I could see them doing a thing where there's so many people trying to take like the mantle or whatever of El Grande. I could see actually somebody from AAA and from Mexico in the end, like the gimmick, taking the mantle and being like a serious luchador with it. Maybe I could see that as their ultimate goal for that character.
either I was thinking he's like a comedy act in America, but like
Well, like legit over there.
like you know how like Bret Hart was like a baby face in Canada, but he was a heel in the US, that type of thing, or
Something like
Punk
I
was
could see
like
that.
Punk was a heel everywhere else, but a baby face in Chicago. I could almost see this being like a LeBron in Toronto type of thing, right? To
Oh,
where he's just kind of like a fucking demon every time he goes over there. I can see him doing something like that where he's a joke in the US, but like he's a demon in Mexico. I could see them doing something like that, kind
I
of to
could chop
where
with that.
kind of like uh, you know, what's a good example? It's kind of like take this for example, Swerve,
Mhm.
mid
Okay.
card, you know, mid level guy in WWE goes to AEW and he's a demon. Imagine that, but U.S. and
That is true.
Mexico. I could see
I get
something
what
like
you mean with
that.
that. Or
Um,
even like Bobby Lashley, how he like, he should have been a bigger name in WWE, but they only really used him sparingly. He goes to AEW and he's like very different and he's very much more serious over there and
yeah,
whatnot.
yeah. I
Yeah,
that
like something
that
like
was
that.
that was what I was thinking. Like I said, where he's kind of like a jobber in the U.S., but then he goes over to Mexico, where he's
Beats.
from, where his roots, where his family ties come from, and he's an absolute demon. I could see something like that. But interesting to see, man. El Grande is going to be LeBron in Toronto. So
Kind of wild, but I could see them wanting to do something like that.
there you go. MSG Mello is El Grande
Gee,
is El Grande Americano.
Gee, just waiting. There's gonna be more that fucking
Oh,
take up the
you know it.
mantle.
You know it.
Uh,
Speaking of another guy they had in mind, according to WrestleVotes, WWE is strongly considering putting the AAA Mega Championship on Dom Mysterio. The idea of AAA's top champion appearing weekly on Netflix is said to be appealing to all parties involved. Did you
be
hear
shocked
that
at that.
pop he got at
Oh,
AAA?
dude, it was. They love him over there, dude. He's kind of another example of that. Someone who's like booed over here. Even though people love to boo him, but like over there in Mexico, they fucking love that dude. And he's great.
Mm-hmm.
He's fucking amazing. I could see a temporary, shorter run with the AAA title, kind of just to get it more eyes. I wouldn't be shocked at that.
Yes. Dom is the future, bro. All they got to do is
He
put
is
him in that ring a little
beast.
bit more, and he will have all the fucking tools.
It's literally all I'm asking is I want to see the guy more.
Yeah.
It's
It's not even like, again, it's not even like he can't wrestle. He just needs more
he
reps with
can't.
top level guys. That's what he needs.
Exactly.
That's
That's all
literally
he
all he
needs.
needs.
I know he could go. I just want to actually see him go more with
Yes.
topper guys. Mm-hmm.
Yes. 100%, bro. 100%. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. You can have Vikingo drop that, and then you can have him sporadically appear between AAA and NXT, and I think that'd be fantastic. I think that would be really fantastic. But yeah, I think that's a good. I think this is a good option, and I think this is a good way for Dom to be involved with AAA as well. Put the world title on him.
Definitely.
Speaking of another guy in AAA, Kylie Ray is the WWE ID Women's Champion. I've been waiting for them to
I
sign
do.
her for a very long time.
Very, very, very excited to see how she does in her journey more like into the company.
So, following reports in recent days, noted that people in WWE wanted former Alberto Del Rio to be brought back. Sources close to the situation have told Cultaholic wrestlers within WWE actively pushing for Del Rio's return are Andrade, Humberto, and Angel of Los Garza. Other Mexican wrestlers on the company's roster and AAA talents have pushed for Alberto El Patron's return to be booked by WWE. Andrade and El Patron are seemingly friends, with Andrade revealing back in 2018 that Del Rio convinced him to remain a part of WWE as when the former La Sombra was considering quitting the company and returning to Mexico. One of Andrade's first matches following his 2021 WWE release saw the then Andrade El Idolo face Alberto El Patron and Carlito in a three-way in July of that year. Andrade and El Patron then teamed together against Penta and DMT Azul in September of 2021. While Andrade and Los Garza and others are pushing for WWE to use the former Alberto Del Rio, sources told Cultaholic WWE have no interest in using Alberto El Patron due to his previous sins. And what? And it is considered highly unlikely that WWE will use him in the future. Alberto El Patron signed a contract with WWE in May of 2025. This was because of his AAA commitments. Efforts have since been made by WWE to distance Patron from AAA, including booking him to lose the Mega Championship and a defeat to El Macias, which resulted in Alberto having to leave AAA in storyline. Look, I
Hate to break it to those guys, but
really hate to break it to you. I get it's your friend, and I get you're trying to stick up for your boy, but you gotta understand your boy isn't. He doesn't necessarily have the best public image in his and I quote,
for his
his
sake.
sins.
Yeah, I mean they were some sins. They were really fucking bad. Yeah, he's not showing up anytime soon. He lost a loser leaves AAA match. It's obvious that they don't really want anything to do with him. And even if he really didn't do all that, Triple H fucking hates the guy personally. He wasn't gonna come into the company
Yeah.
anyway.
He's on fucking live a couple years ago calling him a big nose fuck. I mean, did you really expect did you really expect Triple H to, like, you know what?
So
That's our guy.
it's our boy.
Yeah, this was obviously never going to work. Yeah, this was absolutely never going to work again. He's a sinner who's probably going to sin again. So Lord forgive him.
Probably. Yeah, you
Um,
probably shouldn't, but
golly. So yeah, Alberto El Patron or Alberto Del Rio, he ain't coming back, bro. I get that's your
no.
boy.
Yeah.
We all stick up for our friends, but look, that ain't gonna
Look, when
work,
they
bro. That ain't gonna
well,
work.
well, at least for me, the point, you might have your homies. The second you find out your homies are moving in that type of way, you usually cut them off.
Typically,
So usually that's what it is. Maybe Andrade and them are different. Maybe that's how we work. But I
yeah,
hate that he ain't never showing up. He ain't never showing up.
yeah. We ain't messing with Del Rio around here. We ain't messing with Del
No.
Rio. I really don't care to see him back. As a lot of us, I think, feel the same way. So again,
Oh yeah,
I know that's your boy. That shit ain't gonna work though, bro. That shit is not
that
gonna
shit ain't
work.
working out with me.
And especially if WWE, because I know I'm sure it's the same way now. I don't see a reason why they would loosen up on the policy. WWE's always, even in the Vince days, had zero tolerance for any sort of domestic violence, anything like that. WWE's had zero tolerance for it. So again, it also doesn't help, the whole big nose fuck thing with Triple H. So that doesn't really help the situation whatsoever. And yeah, that is again. There's so much. It's like, bro, get this clown out of here. I don't even know why he was picked up with the Triple A stuff as it is, but yeah, it is what it is, bro. I think it's safe to say though, Alberto El Patron is not coming back.
As Bill mentioned, there's a lot of people who like stuck up for Paige and all that,
Yeah,
and they don't want him there either. No one
exactly.
wants him there. He
Yep.
will not fare well if he goes over there.
No, especially not to the big nose fuck Triple H.
Big nose fuck.
I did hear that Drew McIntyre.
I think I've heard that story.
Drew McIntyre. I never heard
He
nothing
was.
about that. Was he?
Never knew that.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that. But you never know. You never hear stuff until, they end up
Yeah.
coming up. I'm sure
Yeah, I
Twitter
ain't
will
never
bring
heard
it up
nothing
one
about
day if
that.
that is true. Hmm?
Yeah, I ain't never heard that. I don't know about that one. Um, according to WrestleVotes, all signs from WWE's creative standpoint to the return of Bianca Belair point to the return of Bianca Belair being on the horizon. Belair is expected to be cleared for action this upcoming week and could appear as soon as the SmackDown after SummerSlam on August 9th.
Mm,
I think
I think we might see her tomorrow.
we'll see her tomorrow. I think
I
so.
think we will. I We'll get to it
Tiffany,
with the predictions,
yes,
but I think Tiffany will still be champ.
Tiffany and Jade is night 1, and I'm thinking we see B back tomorrow. I'm thinking we see her back tomorrow. Yeah, I think so. She's I think she's got some business to handle, bro. But I'm excited to see Bianca back. It sucks that Bianca had to miss Evolution from a physical standpoint. She still got to be involved
Yeah.
in Evolution in a way that makes sense. I don't know about you guys. I would have loved me a Bianca Belair match at Evolution, but I think all of us are in that sit in the same boat there. So yeah. I think she's coming back, and I don't think it'll be next SmackDown, man. I think it'll be tomorrow night. I think it'll be August 2nd. But yeah, so that's the news on Bianca Belair, and yeah, I think
That's good.
she's coming back, and I'm excited to have her back.
I'm very excited to have her back. I'm very, excited, to have her back. It sucks that she had to miss, evolution or wrestling capacity, like you said. They were able to find a very good and creative way to still involve her in the show, which was really good, man. But it sucks she had to miss it in a wrestling capacity, and I'm glad she's gonna be back. And I think we'll see her tomorrow.
For sure. Jack says, "Would you want to, or would WWE let Paige wrestle again?" I think they would. I think they
I think they
would.
would.
Triple H always
I
kind
don't
of had that very like parent-like relationship with her, where it seemed like he was very heartbroken when
like
things turned out the way they
sad.
did. I think he liked her a lot.
Mhm.
And I remember, you know, way back when when she was in the relationship with Alberto Del Rio, they were like pushing to get those two to break up. I remember they put them on separate shows, and they were
Yeah.
trying their damnness to get her away from him. And then obviously everything ended up the way they did. Things were fine for a little bit. She was with the company, but then the company stopped using her. She came back to wrestle in AEW. I think WWE would let her wrestle again. I just think they don't really. I don't think they're thinking about a spot for her right now. Because if they were gonna bring
No.
her back, it would have been at Evolution. Like she's one of the OGs of the women's Evolution. So if they didn't bring her back there, I think that's just about as. I think the writing is on the wall that they just don't really care to use her at the moment. That's not saying they won't ever, but at least for now, I don't think.
No, I don't think so. I don't even think it'd be like a neck related thing. She's great, and I'm glad she was able to return overall. She was very rusty. I'm not
Oh
gonna
fuck.
lie, and I think that's like the biggest issue she would have is not even, her health. It's more of her quality of in-ring work. I don't think, unfortunately, is there anymore. And I think she even mentioned it herself, right as she was leaving AEW, she was talking about how she doesn't think there's much she could do for the rest of the women over there. And it's good that, a wrestler is honest with themselves about that. And I think that would be the biggest factor. And that's why I don't think it's likely with her.
Yeah, and I do respect that because sometimes when you get to that point, the biggest piece of, you know, contributing you can do is admitting you can't
It's just
contribute anymore.
yeah, that's the probably the best things you could do if you're at that point is be honest and be like, yeah, I'm at that point where I just can't go anymore. And I'm
Yeah,
glad she was honest about that. And it was very obvious she kind of just stepped back from everything.
yeah,
So I don't think we'll see her, and I don't think it's injury related.
yeah. That's why that's why I've been sitting here all fucking year for the past 8 months, um, being one of the only creators actually defending the farewell tour, because the biggest
Exactly.
piece of contributing you can do sometimes is admitting you can't contribute anymore. And in
That's
Cena's
why we're
case,
getting it.
you get, he absolutely gets the right to have one last year. So, and
Exactly. Exactly.
same thing for her. So again, that's the best you can do to contribute. That sometimes is the best thing you can do for all parties to contribute is stop contributing physically. So
Exactly.
SummerSlam. Again, I got this image here for you guys, man. This is the show for night 1 and 2. Obviously, you could see night 1 at the top. We got the women's tag, Gunther and Punk, Jelly Roll, Randy Orton, there's Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul, Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Tiffany Jade, and Sammy Cross. And then Sunday, we got Dom, AJ, Cena, Cody, Solo, Jacob, Becky, Lyra, Naomi, Io, and Rhea. And also, don't forget the tag match, which I'm assuming is going to be on night 2 on Sunday. So, yeah. So without any further ado here, we're going to start you guys off with night 1, obviously. And we got Jelly Roll and Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul. Drew, I'm so sorry, dude. You're supposed to win the title at this show, bro. If you'd asked me
It's
like a
supposed
year ago, I would have told you that
to
Drew
be a
probably
great
would have won King of the Ring. That was my early prediction. King of the Ring
Mm-hmm.
winner, world title at SummerSlam. Paul Levesque,
Good,
you son of a bitch.
good lord, man. Good lord. But it's obvious they're gonna let the celebrity win the fucking match. It's obvious Jelly Roll and Orton win.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It's gonna be Jelly Roll. Um, they're probably gonna be beating up Orton the whole match, and then Jelly Roll's gonna get the
Mm-hmm.
hot tag. He's gonna get in, do some moves, and then tag him
Ryan.
up. So there
Yeah,
you go. And
exactly.
Michael Cole's probably gonna flip his fucking lid seeing Jelly Roll do anything. So
Oh, oh my god. I already know.
so hopefully he does okay. Hopefully, I'm
Hopefully he
praying it's
does.
not a shit show. The next match. Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. Do the Judgment Day drop the tag team championships? I don't know how many times we've said that between the women's and, well, I think this is the first time
Man,
they had the women's, but between the men's and this reign, do you think they lose the titles here?
I don't I don't think yet. I still think they're gonna have a Judgment Day on a high. So I don't see them yet, but if I do see them losing it to people, it would be um Bliss and Charlotte. I think they'll win them eventually. I don't think it'll happen yet.
I can see that. I
Unless
can
Liv
see
comes
that.
back. And then Liv could come back and maybe that fucks something up or something, but I overall see Judgment Day retaining.
Mhm. Yeah, no word on how long Liv's going to be out, Jack. I think the recovery time for what the injury was, I think was 8 to 12 weeks. So
Yeah.
I think we were looking at anywhere from 2 to 3 months on her. So
Word.
I'm assuming in the fall. But yeah, that's the latest thing we've heard on it. But yeah, so yeah, I'm feeling. I think Charlotte and Alexa will get the titles eventually, but I think here they want to continue to keep Judgment Day on like the third high that the group has had, if you want to call it that. I would use the term very loosely personally, but there you go. Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross. And this match, the loser has to pretty much admit if they were right or wrong, because um let's see. So what is it? If Cross wins, Sammy has to say that Cross was right. And if Sammy wins, then Cross has to say that he was a liar or something like that.
And
Um
Cross has to admit he was wrong about
about
Sami
Sammy.
Zayn,
There you
being
go.
fake and shit.
There you go. So yeah, that is that is, I guess, is what this match is for.
Yeah.
I really want to tell you guys that Cross, should win this because he should, but this is WWE at the
Yeah.
end of the day, and it's probably going to be Sami Zayn.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be Sami Zayn, and literally, no matter who wins and loses, the loser is not admitting what they're supposed to admit at the end of this match. So, uh, it, Cross is probably gonna lose, get mad that he lost, will refuse to admit that Sammy, isn't like secretly evil or something, and they're gonna move on.
There you go. The next match for the WWE Women's Championship, Tiffy defends the title against Jade Cargill, the Queen of the Ring winner.
I, I overall think we've been saying it ever since Naomi won, cashed in and went to Raw. I think Jade is gonna lose. I originally thought she was gonna win, and Naomi was gonna cash in on her. I think due to Bianca, Jade is gonna lose,
Yep.
and either Jade and or Bianca, either one of them or both of them, will end up moving to Raw in the draft.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that I'm thinking this is a Tiffany retain. I think they end up moving Jade, and I think they end up moving Jade and Bianca to Raw shortly after, and then I think Tiffany leads the SmackDown Women's Division, and I think they'll probably put Stephanie Vaquer over there. They'll probably move like a Bayley, Lyra, or Becky, one of the three, if not two of the three. I think they move them over there, and I think that division gets a whole new, long overdue freshen up. And I think Bianca turns on Jade. And then I think, again, they feud. Both get flipped over to Monday Night Raw to interfere with Naomi's business. So exactly what Naomi didn't want, I think, is going to happen to her. Yeah, I'm actually gonna say Tiffany Stratton. So yeah.
Same.
Roman Reigns and Jey Uso, the Yeet TC.
Could see that shirt.
Versus the Bronze. Braun Breaker and the Ganker.
I think Paul Heyman called Bronson the tribal thief.
Oh my god, they're stealing all my fucking nicknames, dude. Good lord. Don't
think they watch us.
They do, bro. The tribal thief, Bronson Reed, the Ganker, the Jay Steeler. Bronson Reed, man. I will go ahead and say no, people. Brock Lesnar is not coming out to help Roman Reigns and Jey Uso. No, it's not going to happen. So don't be disappointed when it doesn't. I'll go ahead and say. I'll go ahead and say Roman and Jey.
I mean, I think they do want to put momentum on the Bronze, but it's Roman Reigns and Jey Uso. I just think they're winning.
And honestly, if they do have Braun and Bronson win, props to WWE because they must really fuck with them at that point because they beat the shit out of those guys, Roman and Jey on Monday. But then again, I could see Braun and Bronson winning because I honestly think my early prediction in August, bro, I honestly think we're getting Roman and Braun at Mania 1-on-1. That's my early prediction.
I could see that, but I would think overall Braun wins the Mania match, so I could see them losing here. But I could see if they lose after the match that they're beating those two up again and they're beating the life out of them again.
I could see that. But yeah, I'll say Roman and Jey. And again, early prediction, man, I really think we're getting that singles match at WrestleMania.
I think so.
Oh, Bell, please don't say that. Oh, God.
There's the Seth factor, but if Seth does play a factor, it's going to be in one of the two world title matches. I don't think it would be here.
Yeah. Bell, are you withholding information from us now? Is this what we're doing? No, I think
wow.
I think Seth isn't injured. Oh man. So I think yeah, I'll go ahead and say Roman and Jey here.
Same.
Yeah, because like you said, I could very well see again. Props to WWE if they do have Braun and Bronson win because that must mean they really fuck with them. But there's got to be a reason for that one-on-one match to happen, and I think this maybe loss will bug Braun Breaker until we get to Mania, and then they'll do the one-on-one match, Braun versus Roman. But it's crazy, man. We're at the point now where Roman will be going into Manias to put young guys over. The era is almost the Roman Reigns era is almost over, man. It's crazy. But regardless, yeah, I'll go Roman and Jey.
I'll go. And Bell mentions, if Seth isn't injured, the match he would, interfere with is the Sunday match. I think that too. A lot of people think he would interfere on the Gunther and Punk match. If he can go, and if he is interfering on one of them, I think it would be the Cody match and the Cena match.
Really? How come?
I just get the vibe that Punk is, there in that match, but I don't think Gunther's his target to cash in on. I think it's the other world title. And to be honest, I want him and Punk to be separate at this point. It's great, but holy shit, is it? I want something else for Punk.
I get what you're saying. I do. I just don't want to see the title off Cena, especially not for Rollins. I do
I don't.
think it is a lot, but I would much rather him go after Punk. I know that's a cookie cutter option, and you are right. We are seeing a bit much of it, but he's just said for so long, like, this guy's never going to hold a world title. If you just, to me, it would kind of throw the story out of whack if he just kind of let him win it, or just let him have a fair chance at it if he's not injured. Because to me, it's like, then what was the plan B? Like, your plan B was to forget about Punk after everything you said. Like,
I don't know, man. I will have to see.
yeah,
No, oh yeah, they are main eventing, Bell.
they are.
Both title matches are main eventing each night.
Yes, thank God,
Thank
they
God.
are. But speaking of that, the main event of night one for the World Heavyweight title, Gunther versus CM Punk.
I don't see. It's possible, but I don't see Punk walking out as champ.
Here's the thing. I got a prediction if Rollins, I honestly, I don't want to see it, dude. But taking into account that one of these world champions is losing their belt, one of them is, and I just don't see it being Gunther. I see it being Cena if one of them are going to lose the title, because the whole story is the title corrupts Cena. So if Cena loses the title, if we're gonna turn him back babyface, he's gonna have to lose the belt. I love the Never Seen 17.
So
I really love it, but honestly, if we have one of the world titles coming off somebody, I would rather it be Gunther over Cena, but I just think I don't see them taking the title off Gunther this soon. I really don't. And I think and the only it's not even that I don't want to see the title come off Cena. I just really don't care to see the title go on Cody again, personally.
I don't care about personally, but he's on another big PR run. I mean, that was the main focus on news today with Cody. I think if someone loses their world championship, if someone wins it, Cena loses, and I think Cody wins. We'll get to that later,
Yeah. But this match, man, it really just takes it really, like I said, you do got to take the main, you do got to take Cena and Cody into account here, because like I said, it's like a very one of the titles coming off somebody, and I don't see them taking the title off Gunther so soon here. The winner of this match is either going to be Gunther or it's going to be Seth Rollins. That's my prediction.
Yeah.
I think Rollins cashes in on this match. I'm very interested to know why everybody thinks Cody and Cena. I mean, I get maybe it's the unpredictable option, but I'm very curious. I would love to know why you guys think that, because I don't see it other than it being unpredictable.
The general consensus from I see with most people is that they are kind of tired of the, Punk and Seth, like 24/7 like interactions and kind of always about each other. I think people really want something different for Punk.
I could see that. I could.
Yeah,
mean, I do get.
Matt.
I do get the
I
complaint.
do I get both sides, because I mean they made each other so linked in terms of like world title goals and whatnot.
Yeah.
I think that was their biggest flaw is making them so linked to each other, where it is gonna look stupid if they aren't involved in each other's world title situations. But like that's all every interaction is, oh, you've been gone for 10 years, I've been here doing this, and it's the same thing every time. And I don't know, I'm just kind of tired of it. But I do get that like they should be world title, holders, with kind of each other, and say it's a whole mixed bag. It makes sense, but it's just tiring.
I get that. I do get that. I do get that. It's just I wouldn't for me, it's like, do you move the Seth Riders to SmackDown? Like to me it would just, I guess, kind of
The
throw
thing that
everything on
fucked up.
SmackDown out of whack.
That's the thing that would fuck it up is the Seth Riders. They're kind of stapled on Raw, so moving it's a whole fuck situation, dude. Man, I Seth should not have won that Money in the Bank
Fuck
briefcase, dude.
no,
I'm
dude.
sorry. He should not have won that thing. It should have just been fucking LA Knight or something.
Yeah, and to me, I don't know, the continuity in the story, again, because we've heard for damn near a year, I will make
Mhm.
sure if it's the last thing I do,
Yeah,
you will never win a world title again. So did
exactly.
bro just give up? Is he just fine with him winning a world title now? Like what happened? So
Yeah, it's. I think they made the mistake making them that interlinked with each other.
yeah. Yeah. So I don't know, man. But honestly, for this one, I will go.
I think it's
I
Gunther.
I think it's either gonna be Gunther or I think it will be Seth. I think Seth will,
Seth possible.
if he is not injured, I can see him making his grand return. You know, revealing that he
Screwing
was
over
never
Punk.
injured, screwing over Punk. Exactly. If this is not the case, or if him being injured is not the case. So,
Hmm.
night two, we got Dom versus AJ for the
I
IC
think it's
championship.
I think it's a Dom win. I think
Yeah,
it's a Dom win. I think they're very high on him. And I think people want to see more of him. I'd say it's an easy Dom.
I think so. I think this is a Dominic victory as well. Um, yeah. I think it's a Dom win, and that's just pretty much about it, man. I'm interested to see how the match goes, though.
Hmm.
So, titles being unified.
Yeah, no, you need two world titles in the current state of modern
Is that what
era.
people are
You
saying?
need them. No, that's what Jack is saying.
Oh, oh, gotcha.
He
Okay.
wants that.
Oh yeah. You can't have one world title. There's way too much talent
It just
nowadays. Um,
It just won't. It'll never work. It does not work. It's obvious that AEW has needed a second one for like 3 years now.
yes. For the keeping up the theme of the IC title, Lyra versus, I almost said Becky, for for the women's intercontinental championship. Uh, mm, Bailey's getting involved somehow,
Mm-hmm.
and I can honestly, huh?
It's interesting, man. There's two. She's gonna be involved no matter what. Either she's looks like she's about to screw over Lyra, and she screws over Becky, or out of just general jealousy and just frustration, she screws over Lyra. I think both are equally likely, to be honest. This is a very difficult one.
Maybe she beats up both of them.
No matter what, she's obviously got beef with both, so I could see her just jumping both of them. But who wins from that? I would think Becky would win from that because she's a heel, so she'll manage her way to win. But this is very interesting, man. This one is very interesting to me.
Yeah, this one is very unpredictable. Honestly, I'm pretty sure Bayley has beaten Becky before in the past, but I also don't think Bayley beat. No, she did
Mhm.
in the qualifier to. She beat her in the qualifier to something. It might have been the Elimination Chamber, but
I think it might have been.
damn, yeah, Bayley's getting involved somehow, some way. But I actually will go ahead and say a Becky victory here.
Yeah, I'm leaning more towards Becky.
Yeah, because I could see them flipping Lyra and Becky in the draft. I feel like maybe Lyra will head over to. I could see that being the case, and then yeah, just to get everybody away
I
from
could
each
see
other,
that. I could see. Or,
and then that would leave
hmm
Bayley and Becky to feud. Ooh.
I think I'm here.
We are trying to reconnect him. Seems like things might have gotten a little frozen on her end. Or his end, what am I talking about? Coffee ran out too quick. Um, yeah, I don't. I really could see it going both ways. I really could see it going both ways, but I'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and say.
Goddamn.
All right, my apologies, of course. Right at the finish line. Okay, so yes,
Literally.
I for this one, I got I'll go ahead and say Becky by a Bayley assist, and hopefully Lyra loses this match so they can go ahead and move her up to women's world title uh
I think so.
things.
I hope so, and I think so, and I think she'll probably be moving shows after SummerSlam.
I could very well see that being the case, man. So, um with the next match for the women's world championship, Rhea versus Naomi versus Io Sky for the Women's World Championship. This one
Uh,
is fairly easy. Fairly easy. I think
I think
obviously when was that? 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I think it was 3 weeks ago. They just put the title on Naomi. They're not taking the title off Naomi. Rhea's gonna be so fixated
no.
on beating Io it's gonna end up costing, it's gonna end up costing both of them the match, and I think this is a Naomi retain.
I think so. I think it's pretty easy. Naomi retain. Like you said, they're going to be so distracted with each other. Rhea probably is going to get an opportunity in some point to pin Naomi, but she's going to choose to try to pin Io instead, and that's going to fuck everything up. And Naomi's going to capitalize, and Naomi's going to retain, man. So I think they want to continue that story.
Absolutely. Belle says Naomi's her favorite character in WWE right now. That is valid.
I
She
understand.
is fucking
That's really
hilarious.
valid.
Yo, what
She's
up, Durante?
great in her role. How you doing, man? How you doing?
I know. As soon as you come in, bro, we start getting
Dude,
the old
it's
Charlotte
like a beacon.
yeah, literally, bro. Charlotte with the Wi-Fi never fails. Um,
Never fails.
the next match for the U.S. title is in a steel cage. Blood versus blood. Jacob Fatu versus Solo Sikoa. Sir K, do you indeed think the steel cage will keep everyone out?
Everyone's gonna be coming in the door, climb the cage. It's gonna be all out fuckery.
Yep.
I think Solo is gonna retain.
I think,
I think he's
yeah,
gonna get the numbers.
I think so. I think so. I feel like I feel like Solo will retain this as well. I don't really know what good it would do, especially if the other guys do get involved, to still have Fatu beat him. I just don't
Mm,
think, especially with the news that they want to move him up to the world title scene and make him like a top guy. Um, Even him moving shows away from Solo, I think would be good, a good idea as well. But yeah, I mean, you can't really have you can't really have Jacob Fatu fucking soloing all of the MFT, no pun intended, but that's just wouldn't really be a good look. But I am very excited to see that fire hydrant, JC the nerd, climbing the cage. I think that's going to be a very funny individual. Or very funny visual, not individual. He's a very funny individual though. However,
yeah.
however, hopefully the goat Tongaloa does not slip off the cage trying to climb it. So yeah.
Hopefully he does not. Hopefully he could stay in good health, and hopefully we get our boy Tama back, and we could complete all this.
Hopefully. Hopefully. So the next match. Sir K's moving in a stop motion. Oh, there he is. He's back. Oh, no, he's not. The next
Oh,
match.
good lord.
Fuck, man. Right at the end. The next match. Way to keep us here even longer. The TLC match for the SmackDown or the WWE World Tag Team Championships. We have DIY versus Motor City Machine Guns versus the Wyatt Six, Gacy and Loomis, versus Street Profits versus Fraxium versus Andrade and Ray Phoenix. To be 100% honest, bro, I would not doubt if WWE kept the titles on the Wyatt Six. I'm pretty sure they just won them. But yeah, I mean, I'll go ahead and say the Wyatt Six retain.
I'm gonna say overall Wyatt 6 retain. They just won them. Does it? Almost everyone else already won them. So I'm gonna just say a Wyatt 6 retain.
Yes, sir. You see, Jack says, how have you felt about the Wyatt Six as a whole? Underwhelming.
Underwhelming, man. Like Love them all individually.
Yeah.
Potential is through the roof. They just keep them as a creepy silhouette, and that's all they do with them.
Yes, all they are is a visual. And
Yep.
I'm assuming you're new around these Notorious Heels parts, but also a common opinion that we've shared ever since he's debuted is everybody else in the group takes off their goofy mask except for probably the most important one in the group, Bo Dallas. The ceiling for that group is so small if he does not humanize his character. And because again, the other ones, I mean, there are, especially Eric Rowan, they humanized him to an extent. They even humanized Bo. They just don't follow
Yeah,
through with it on
they
like
on
TV
television
with his
anymore.
character. I want to see Bo Dallas. I do not want to see Uncle Howdy ring around in a mask
Exactly.
just laughing.
Literally, exactly. They literally had Bo Dallas as Bo Dallas show up in Adam Pearce's office, and nothing ever came of that.
Yep, what a joke.
Like,
Um,
what a such wasted potential, man.
and the main event for night 2, the greatest of all time, the never seen 17, the last real champ. It's going to be the last time he is champ.
I think
John
so.
Cena versus Mr. Disrespect.
The quarterback.
The captain.
I think
QB1.
I think the QB got it. I think the QB won the match. I think it goes to Cody.
Cody Rhodes versus John Cena. Yeah, man. The never seen 17 reign has been awesome. It's been cool.
It's been great.
Um,
I loved it.
But unfortunately, bro, I think this is where it ends. And I think Cody
hmm
Rhodes does not make the same mistake he made at WrestleMania. I think in some way, if I was booking this shit, we would see a double fucking turn, and Cody would turn heel and Cena would turn back babyface. I don't think WWE has the balls to do it. I'll damn near come on here in tears on Sunday if they actually do that shit. I don't think they're gonna do it though. So I will not be coming on here in tears. But I do think this is going to be a Cody retain. I think this is going to be a Cody retain, and John Cena has his moment where reality hits him in the face on Sunday night. Either way, I do think Cena does go back to a baby face. So, yeah, I think I think that will. I think that will be the case, man. I think that will be the case. So I'm predicting Cody as much as I don't really want to see another Cody title reign. I don't really know what he would do with it going forward. We do know he's going to I said Cody retain. Cody win. Didn't I say that a couple times too? But I think that's all I've been saying, bro. Not Cody retain. But manager Logan hitting with the quality control. Appreciate it. But yeah. In the words of my own, I will be going with a Cody retain here for SummerSlam. So yes, he will be retaining the championship that he does not hold. But yes, I will be going Cody.
Most definitely. I think Cody, I think this is going to start Cena's path to redemption. Um, and whether, obviously we all mentioned the double turn. Fortunately, Triple H doesn't have the balls, but I still think while Cena is going to be on his path to redemption, I think Cody is going to be on his slow path to corruption. So I think it's going to correlate, but I do think Cody does retain. Or if I did it too,
There you go.
goddamn. I think
Cody retain. I think that's how we need to leave it. It's a Cody
I
retain.
think that's how we leave it. Is it Cody who fucking retain with the title he doesn't hold? God damn it.
I think I've corrupted you for these predictions. Did you
God
hear it?
damn it.
Did you hear Cody Rhodes saying he wants to get canceled when he turned heel? Like
He was talking
what the
about
fuck
how
is bro
he
gonna
wants to
do?
he wants to come out with no entrance and no music. Like, first of all, Cody,
Tommaso Ciampa.
you are horrible at booking yourself. Second of all, the whole point of heel Cody Rhodes would be turn his already entrance up to a 10, up to a 20, and really fucking bask in himself. Ego Cody is the whole heel way to go if you turn him
Yeah.
heel. But that shit was cracking me up, dude. They were making memes about it. I was dying.
What
Tell
is
me I'm gonna
bro
get
gonna
canceled.
do?
What is bro planning? was going to talk about Hogan. Hogan, right?
So yeah, that is that, man, and that is everything we got here today. So Sir K, as well as I, will be predicting Cody Rhodes retaining the championship that he does not carry this Sunday, man. So it's going to be cool. Where you guys got us for the next 2 days. We'll see. Well, you'll see us tomorrow night for Saturday and Sunday night for night 2 Sunday, man. So thank you guys so very much for joining us here today. Welcome, Jack, aboard to the NHP family, man. Thank you guys so very much. Appreciate you guys. You guys have been great today. You guys are great every week, man, but you guys have been so great. Thank you guys. Logan, Bell, Hunter, Jack, Durante, thank you guys, everybody who was here in the live chat. Thank you guys for everybody, a part of the Replay Mafia, my guys, JT and JB. Thank you guys so very much for joining us here today. Hope to see you all tomorrow for the SummerSlam Night 1 Saturday post-show review, man. And with that, it has been always a pleasure for my Johnny.
It's okay.
And that is going to do it for and that is going to do it for this edition of the news. This has been episode 277. And with that being said, that is going to do it, man. Thank you guys so very much for joining us. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys tomorrow night for the SummerSlam 2025 Saturday Night 1 post-show review.
Peace.